I watch this as an adult as a podcast where we reminisce about movies from our childhood, and we see if it still holds up, or we just say, I used to watch this crap. Check out the podcast to see what we say. Peace.
In the summer of 1997, producer David Heyman was looking for a children's book to adapt into a great film. After things fell through with a different book series, his assistant suggested another, about a magical boy named Harry Potter, who attends a school for wizards. She told him that she thought it was, quote, a cool idea. Heyman pitched this cool idea to Warner Brothers, who purchased the rights to the first 4 books of the series from author J.K. Rowling. Once that was settled, the search for a director began. Steven Spielberg was initially signed on, but ended up walking away because he thought that the movie should be animated, saying that the idea was like, quote, shooting ducks in a barrel. It's like withdrawing $1 billion and putting it into your bank accounts. The studio did not agree, and they pushed forward for a live-action adaptation, sans Spielberg. Eventually, Chris Columbus, director of such films as the first 2 Home Alone movies and the Robin Williams comedy Mrs. Doubtfire, was chosen to direct the first film. A massive casting search to find the 3 main leads began, and thousands of British kids read for the parts of Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger. On August 21st, 2000, the roles were announced to be given to Daniel Radcliffe and newcomers Rupert Grint and Emma Watson, respectively. J.K. Rowling maintained heavy creative control and insisted that the cast be made up of only British or Irish actors. And so a bevy of UK actors were cast in prominent roles. Richard Harris as Professor Dumbledore, Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, Maggie Smith as Professor McGonagall, and Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid, to name a few. Upon its release, the movie proved to be a massive hit both critically and financially. It went on to gross over $1 billion and became the highest-grossing film of 2001 and the second highest-grossing film in history at that time. It was praised for its visual elements and was nominated at the Academy Awards for Best Art Direction, Costume Design, and Original Score for John Williams' memorable music. The series went on to adapt the remaining 6 books over 7 more movies and became one of the most popular and successful film franchises of all time. There's a lot to unpack here, and we begin our magical journey with special guest and friend, editor Jarale Phillips, joining myself, Matt McGregor, Harris McCabe, and Colin Shaw as we travel by broomstick to Hogwarts and learn as much as we can about the first film in the Harry Potter franchise of films. We watched the 2001 magical family classic, Chris Columbus's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is a show about franchises, wizarding movie franchises. You're listening to License to Watch.
Why in the world was this movie made?
Rocky, and now we're moving on to the next piece of the puzzle, and that is the Harry Potter franchise.
And I know what you're all saying. Another sports movie. Quidditch is a sport. Quidditch is a
and
disaster.
It features heavily in all 16 of these movies.
God, I hope you're joking. You said that before, and I hope you're joking about this. The Quidditch match was the dumbest thing I've ever seen on film. But yes,
I'm still not sure what that game is supposed to be.
Oh, I've got so many problems with that game.
There's 6 different balls.
Yeah.
But the only way to win the game is to catch 1 ball.
Yeah. Can we just jump into Quidditch? Can we just start the podcast by jumping into how dumb Quidditch is?
Why are there the other 6 balls?
Well, introduce our guest so we can...
Yeah. Jarale Phillips is our guest. He'll be joining us for the movie that we're covering today, which is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Or the Philosopher's Stone, depending on what continent you live on.
Yeah. Why does it have a different name?
I don't know. Maybe Sorcerer means something different in the UK.
Or maybe they think Philosopher means something.
It's the metric system, guys.
It's all the metric system.
It should have been the Saucier's Stone.
I believe, and I haven't done any research on this, so I could be lying, but I believe, so the Sorcerer's Stone is in the movie, but I think it's in real life, like in alchemists' lore, it's like an important part of alchemy,
Right.
which I think it's just called something different in some parts of the world.
Can you say sorcerer again?
Sorcerer?
Sorcerer.
Oh, we found another word that I habitually mispronounce. Great. I'm not going to stop saying sorcerer because you mock me for it.
It's your weird Connecticut accent that isn't really a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But I'll give you 4 quarters for a saucer.
For a saucer.
Yeah. No, he's always got some Cholula with him. He's a sorcerer.
So yeah, this movie came out in 2001, right? I remember it came out the same year, I think, as Lord of the Rings, the first one. It was like
Did they come out at the same time?
I think so. Yeah, they were in theaters at the same time.
It was a magical time for fantasy fans. They were like, we're taking over the world. Dungeons and Dragons forever.
Well, this is like the kid version. Like, even though Lord of the Rings is appropriate for all ages, I feel like it was just there was something that was associated with being older about it, and something associated with being younger about the.
I remember going to see Lord of the Rings at the movies, Universal Studios City Walk, and falling asleep.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
we all do. At midnight? Was it a midnight show?
It was a late show. I definitely fell asleep. I woke up later and I asked my friend what happened. He said, I don't know. I was asleep.
I remember seeing. I dug it. I thought
You
it was-
like long and boring, though.
Yes.
So that's
I
your
saw
thing.
all 3 at midnight showings, and I fell asleep for all 3 of them.
I think I stayed awake for all of them because I'm good at staying awake and not peeing during movies when I see them in the theaters. However, all 3 of them, I had that point about 2 hours in where I was like, Jesus, is this still going to go for enough? And the last one was the worst, where it was like literally, okay, good, here's the ending.
Oh, yeah.
And now here's the ending.
And
now here's...
everyone was crossing their legs in the theaters. Like, everyone had to pee so bad. and it
People
just
were like
kept-
inching out of their seats like, this has got to be it, right? Credits roll. And just jerking us around again and again. Interesting fun fact, I have never seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies since those initial times in the theaters. These are not rewatches for me.
really?
These are not rewatches. Absolutely not.
Wait, so you're saying you do not like the Lord of the Rings movies?
I liked them enough.
It's
They
just
were
not
they were
your
fine.
thing.
I just can't imagine sitting through any of them again.
I will say I have rewatched them since, and I like them better.
Are they better at home?
They're better at home. You know why? Because I put the subtitles on. Yeah, and I can
Because you can
understand
pause
everything.
and go to the bathroom and
You
be
can
like,
pause,
fuck
you
this.
leave, you can
Yeah.
come back.
That too.
Wait,
that
do the
too.
subtitles translate like the Elvish or anything?
Yeah, with the subtitles is a whole different movie.
Right. Yeah, I don't. You saying that you don't like the Lord of the Rings, I can't wrap my head around that or put my finger on it.
Okay. But we really should be talking about our first Harry Potter experiences, which...
Yeah, I was getting to it.
Mine is easy.
2001.
I don't have one.
You've never seen this movie?
No, I actually have seen this movie, but I don't remember it. Like, I'm older than all you guys. 2001, I'm in college. Like, I'm not reading the fucking Harry Potter books. I'm a grown-up, and, I've never read any of the books. The movie comes out, everyone's all excited about it. I don't think I saw it in the theaters for sure. I probably saw it when it came out on DVD. I rented it, I saw it, and I was like, oh, cool, it's a kid's movie, whatever. Moving on.
I've heard tell of people that didn't get into Harry Potter until they were in college. They're usually a more whimsical type of personality, though.
I'm not saying that people my age weren't into Harry Potter, but I am saying that I side-eyed those people hard about like, Harry Potter as a 22-year-old. Good. Okay, good. Yeah, glad you're improving yourself.
I never saw this one in the theaters, but I did see some of the ones after it in the theaters. This one, he's just a lot younger. Like I feel like
Is that your objective analysis of the series? It's like, well, in the first one, he's younger, and in every subsequent one, he is slightly older.
right. Well, like
Can
the
we
other
can we
ones-
talk about how bad this guy looks today?
Who, Daniel Radcliffe?
Yes, terrible.
Is he
he
in rough
looks
shape?
so different than he looks here.
Yeah.
But he's still
The same
you can
height.
still-
He's still the same height. I was gonna,
Yeah.
you beat me to that one. He's
You can-
definitely the same height, and he looks like he's done a lot more coke
yes.
since
He's
starting
playing
this movie.
Weird Al Yankovic in a movie coming out.
and he'll be perfect for it.
Yeah.
He'll be so perfect for
And
it.
listen, in fairness, he'd hardly done any coke when he was in this.
Yeah.
Not till this snake hooked him up right here.
Yeah.
Jarale, what's your history with these movies? Did you see them? History.
Just because there's a snake on the screen. Now we're making puns on visual things.
Where
that
he's
the
making
audience
puns
can't
that the
even
audience
see.
can't see.
They know. Someone said snake already. Sorry.
No, I didn't. This was actually my first time watching this movie.
Oh shit.
yesterday and today.
It took you the 2 days.
It's a 2-day process.
Yeah.
It's a long movie.
I'm the perfect test subject. It's all fresh for me. I had no idea what was going on here beforehand. I didn't know that these movies were 2.5 hours apiece.
Oh my God, are they all this long?
They're all long.
Boy, Jesus Christ!
His human.
What a
family
dumb
is-
choice I made here. I feel like this is my choice. I thought it would be fun because they're movies that I'm not familiar with, and I was like, I've known all these other ones, and I remember liking. I only saw the first 3, I think, but I remember liking at least one of them. And now I'm regretting everything because I didn't realize there was 8 fucking movies, and I didn't realize they were 2+ hours long.
I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked when you said you wanted to do this.
I was also a little bit shocked in retrospect.
Yes,
But you know what? I have to commend your choice here because it
People
is.
should have talked me out of it.
It's outside the box.
Oh man,
See, because we had this
It's
conversation.
a classic movie. You can't deny it. It's a cultural phenomenon.
It is a cultural phenomenon.
It's a popular movie. A lot of people. We should know more about this movie than we really do.
Let's talk about what is good about this movie and like why this movie became. Or I mean, obviously the books were already a success. This movie had was making money no matter how good of quality.
it could have been a turd. It probably just wouldn't have gotten as many sequels if it had been.
I don't know. I mean,
You're
I think
right,
with the
yeah.
built-in book audience, I think it still would have made money no matter
I'll
what.
tell you one thing that really did impress me about this movie is that they basically take every film tool that you can use and they lump it all together. I mean, you got a school, you got kids versus adults, you got magic going on, there's a bully there's a mystery going on, there's these magical animals, everything that can be fun about a movie.
And they build
about a
it in
story general.
seamlessly, like to the point, like they
Yes.
do a really good job in this movie of establishing the world and like what does what and who can do what and what their powers are and what everything means in the school. And to the point where in the later movies, they don't have to explain the stuff. It just happens. And you're like,
And
oh,
and in
okay.
this movie, I feel like the story world, at least for the first half of the movie, is really the main character. I mean, we really look at it. Harry Potter doesn't do anything for the first half of the movie.
except
But he's-
learn that he's Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's
Right.
he's introducing us to this
Yes.
world, and we're seeing it through his eyes, which is brilliant. It's very like obviously Chris Columbus is no slouch as a director, but it's very Spielbergian in a lot of ways. It's tackling the same like childhood discovery and adventure, and it's doing it in very it's not reinventing the wheel. But like you said, it's using all the tools that we know from childhood adventure movies, and it's
Right.
just kind of checking all the boxes of those. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
I think his human family and the real world stuff is all
Muggle
like,
family?
way over the top. I don't like the
Way
word muggle.
over the top.
I don't.
The
is
muggle is
word,
a slur, and why is it? Why are we okay with using
Why
this?
is it so close to a slur? Like, why did she have to pick a word with 2 G's in it? That's like, right? Like, I mean, like,
I guess, yeah. I mean,
it just
I
sounds
think
bad.
maybe she
it sounds
is trying
mean.
to.
It sounds
See,
really pejorative.
This
it
is the-
sounds mean.
This is the time where we ask like, is J.K. Rowling that clever that she's actually trying to make important socio-political statements in these things, or is she just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks?
I think she has like a mean side. I think that,
Well, we'll talk about that later.
like all the characters who look bad are like
Oh
really
yeah,
fucking bad.
all the bad guys in this movie have bad teeth.
Yeah.
Unibrows, it's like they look evil from the start.
Yeah, and they
if you're like hideous and deformed, you're probably a bad guy in this movie.
I mean, look at this uncle. He's so fat and sloppy and just
yeah.
look at this guy.
And he delights in making things bad for Harry. But in
How
a way,
many chins does a bad guy need?
right.
so this is what I'm saying about this movie is and like I said, I've only seen a couple of these, but I know they get more mature as they go.
Yeah.
And I feel
Very
like this
mature.
is very much a kid's movie.
Oh.
And I think the family, his adopted family, is the biggest indicator of that it's a kid's movie, because in a kid's movie you don't have like subtle villains. You have like mustache twirling evil step parents, and that's what these people are. Like there's not even a motivation for why they're so mean. They're just terrible,
I do love the actress who plays the mother 'cause
From
she's,
Killing Eve?
Yeah, because she's
Yeah.
in Killing Eve, and
Fiona
she's my favorite
Shaw?
character. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fiona
yeah,
Shaw.
yeah,
she's
yeah.
a Shaw.
well,
Yeah,
so
she's in the Shaw Club.
she is a Shaw. That's right. Well,
That's
these
my last name.
movies.
I was.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, I know your fucking last name.
Good information. Good information.
These movies are very British in that, like, I think only. Wait, is Chris Columbus No, wait, what am I thinking of where only British people can direct these movies? Because Chris Columbus isn't British.
No,
It almost feels like somebody who's not British is the one who directed this movie because the accents are so over, like the propriety that everybody speaks with. Everyone is so like.
There's a caricature of Britishness
yes,
going on.
It doesn't feel like this can't be how British people actually talk to each other.
I think it's just everything has to be like fanciful and like not like it cannot. It like has to be not grounded. Like, look at where they go away to. Like, we're gonna go hide somewhere.
How did they get there? Where's the boat?
Wait. I want to have a moment in praise of the lighthouse on the island.
Actual lighthouse.
It's so over the top, but like, yes, this is where if you're trying to avoid letters that are coming to your residence, which is in nice suburbia, yes, you go to a lighthouse on a random island where there's not even a boat to get there.
But how do you have access to this as a normal suburban family?
That's what I was gonna say. Do they own this lighthouse? Is this property that they keep?
They volunteered as caretakers of the lighthouse, and then when they got there, they scuttled the boat and said, "Nobody's following us.
We're never going back."
Yeah, they have groceries delivered by Amazon Fresh, and
yeah, that makes sense.
By drone. Yeah, so I think it's like all British actors or something. I know there's some British rule that they have, because like I could swear like Spielberg or someone wanted to direct one of these and they wouldn't let him because he's. But
that isn't possible because Chris Columbus is American.
Yeah, what am I thinking of? What other British?
And Cuarón is Spanish or Cuarón's Mexican, so yeah.
Yeah, it must be actor then. It must be the actors
that they wouldn't have a.
They didn't want American.
They didn't have they wouldn't have an American person
playing
doing a fake British.
Accent.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, let's track it as we go through the movies. I can't think of any American actors that are in these.
Yeah,
it must be that I'm thinking of.
Random one thing that I really liked about this movie is how old it felt. It's 2001, but it felt kind of like a mid-90s movie. Just the way that it was shot, the way that these characters are, all the stuff that you're talking about with the over-the-top act. I mean, it kind of feels like Home Alone.
Or Jumanji. Or something like that. Yeah, like where
it's in the vein of those same kind of movies.
And Chris Columbus' most famous movie as a director is Home Alone. So this is like, he's definitely like, they probably were, hey, this is the guy, we're doing a kid's movie. It's about kids on a wacky adventure. Got the guy who's done the biggest kid on a wacky adventure movie ever.
Did he direct 1492?
I can look that up.
Is that about Christopher Columbus?
Yes.
That's
a pun, but also a legitimate question.
Okay, it's a legitimate question.
He did
this
not.
Guy here,
oh wait, it was Ridley Scott directed that? No, am I wrong?
I don't know who directed 1492.
I thought you were looking at that.
Well, I was looking at what Chris Columbus directed. He directed Home Alone. He directed Only the Lonely, a great forgotten John Candy movie. He directed Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah.
9 Months with Hugh Grant and Robin Williams.
No.
And,
well, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
It all makes
Stepmom with Julia Roberts, Bicentennial Man, another Robin Williams, and then he directed this, and then later he directed Rent. And he's directed some things.
If Mrs. Doubtfire wasn't a movie and it was like a true story, it would be a national trauma, but whatever. I'm just kidding.
Could you imagine that movie being made today?
No. I can't.
It couldn't be made today.
1492 Conquest of Paradise is a Ridley Scott joint.
Yes, I knew it.
Conquest of Paradise. Wow.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer for that movie as a kid and thinking, wait, is this a real movie or is this a fake? Like, you know how you see like fake trailers for things sometimes in like movies or whatever? Yeah. Like just the name of it.
You think it's a trailer, but really it's an Oreo commercial.
yeah, exactly. Like 1492, Conquest of Paradise just doesn't sound like a real title to me. I don't know. As a kid, I was like,
I discovered a new world. It's the cream filling.
Recently, someone told me that they eat Oreos with a fork. They take the fork, they get the double stuffed Oreos, they stick the fork into the cream, and then this way they dip it in the milk without getting their hands wet with milk.
Wow, what a pussy.
Yeah, also just way too much like thought and work for eating a cookie. Like I feel like
get your hands wet. Be a man.
That's somebody who's overthought things. Just really, yeah.
When you were really young, you know how you turn the Oreos to unlock the Oreos so that you get cookie and cream on one side?
Yep.
And like if you ever like failed and you got cream half on one side, half on the other side, or whatever. Did you ever have that fear that you'd never be able to like hack the Oreo? You know, you'd never quite get it right.
No, but I could tell you that one time I did twist an Oreo and all the cream just fell on the floor.
It's a
That's
perfect
tragic.
separation.
Was it a
All I
hot
had
day or
was
something?
cookie and cookie.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
I had a friend who used to call the number on the back of Chips Ahoy packages and tell them what was it like if it didn't have
if you don't have
1,000
enough
chips,
chips, yeah.
then what, and he would get like they would mail
I am
him bags of
18
chips.
short.
I'm 18 short.
What was his name?
His name? Yeah, I can't say it on
His
air.
name was Matt.
Yes, there's Matt McGregor.
Ahoy there, Nabisco. It's Matt again. Didn't get enough chips.
Yeah. Now, do you want me to provide evidence as always, or are you going to take my word for it finally? Step it up, guys, and I won't be calling.
I wish I was that clever of a fat kid.
Yeah, I was never big into, like, I just ate the cookies. I didn't twist them. I had no process. Sometimes I dunked them in milk, but I wasn't big on twisting.
You saw that commercial and you didn't do the twist?
I saw the commercial.
I
was like,
learned
who-
from the
who
commercial.
gives a
It was
shit?
definitely classical conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Telling us all to twist the
They're
cookies.
trying to
It's
make
not
you
something
twist
that
the
we
thing.
thought
I was
on
like,
our
you
own.
know, it tastes the same whether you eat it in one part or two. I don't know.
I just
was
dip my
always
cookies
afraid
until they're
I
soft.
wouldn't have the skills to really twist it with the other Oreo.
Every
eaters.
time Colin failed at twisting the Oreo, he's like, "I'll never please a woman."
Exactly. Didn't even know. Very like way before puberty, but
Yeah.
definitely saying that.
Yeah.
This is a deep anxiety.
Failure,
Have
just
you
the-
resolved it since then?
Yeah. I worked long and hard.
Yeah, he still can't please a woman, but he's twisting the fuck out of Oreos.
Wait, do you remember when Chewy Chips Ahoy came out?
Disgusting.
Oh yeah, I remember that day. That's speaking of a national
The
tragedy.
dark mar on
Yeah.
history.
They used to be my favorite, and now I think they are gross. Like my taste buds changed or something.
Or
Yeah.
or they changed the recipe or something.
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
think I know
Less
what you're
Play-Doh.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did taste better in the past, or I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question, Colin. Is it our taste buds or is it something they did? I don't know.
I like to believe that Crystal Pepsi still tastes good.
Didn't it
Crystal, what?
Crystal Pepsi? You don't remember that?
She was a very talented musician. Crystal Pepsi never got enough love.
No, they used to make Pepsi that was clear, and I don't know how to describe what it tasted like.
It tasted like Pepsi.
It did not taste like Pepsi.
I thought it tasted exactly like Pepsi. It just was clear.
It was close, but it did not taste exactly
A
like
casualty
Pepsi.
of the cola wars.
So what does that say if it tastes exactly the same? That they put like a dye or something in Coca-Cola to make it?
Yeah, I do
For
believe.
sure, yeah.
they put
I remember
caramel
the
color
clear
in.
Gatorades.
Yeah,
I remember they had a whole line of clear Gatorades.
most things
Yeah.
are like artificially colored. The other question is like, if it has a natural color in cola, do they just charcoal filter that color out?
Mm.
The rum in the daiquiris we're drinking is actually aged rum, and they just charcoal filter it until it's white again. Should we talk about this movie at some point?
Maybe could they use
All right,
magic
what's
in the
this
process?
guy's name? The big guy.
Hagrid.
Hagrid. Yeah.
Hagrid is a different size every time I see him in the movie. Sometimes he's an actual giant, and sometimes he's just a little bit taller than a regular person.
Yeah, like he just had to duck through the door the same way that I would have to duck through a door. But there are other times when he literally can't fit in like a room.
In the world of the story, he's genetically half giant.
Right.
Like,
But why does his height? Is that part of the magic that his height keeps switching?
It's part of the magic of trying to, use
movie
practical
making.
effects, I think, and some VFX. It's not having a limited VFX budget. Maybe wait. I got a question for you guys. What did you think of the VFX in this? Because I thought they were absolute shit. But I know the first time I saw this movie, I did not think that.
I thought they were bad, really bad.
I mean, it's a kids movie.
I think it fits the time period. Like at this time,
These were cutting edge.
now you've seen Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are these VFX that are so. It's like, remember when you played
Yeah.
Madden
Yeah.
99? You're like, oh my god, these graphics are amazing. Now you look at that shit.
Now you
you're
see like the sweat on somebody's
Yeah.
eyelashes, and you're like, oh yeah.
We
that's okay,
played
I guess.
Golden. What is it? GoldenEye. The
GoldenEye, yeah.
N64 game. And it was like hurting our eyes. It was like so like polygons.
Why are
and,
these
like,
people
you're
all
like,
made out
"Ah."
of squares?
Yeah.
Shout out to Odd Job.
Yeah, the cheating character. Shout out to Baron Samedi.
What what were we just talking about?
We were talking about the VFX.
Talking about the VFX in this movie, which I think for the time,
I mean, this is
on
post
par.
Matrix. I haven't seen the Matrix recently, but I think the VFX in that were better than this. I feel like they might have gotten cheap because it was a kids movie.
Well, we just talked about Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings, I feel, was ahead of this.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, it's
But
not
they
that they go
also-
cheap. It's that because it's a kids movie, they make it look more kiddie.
Yeah, and there's also stuff where it's like I think they just made compromises. It's like we need to see a snake talk, so like it's got to be a CGI
The
snake.
snake didn't
and-
seem
and
that
just-
bad. The snake wasn't the worst of it.
Yeah, but like there's stuff that was like built into the script where it's like, yeah, the only way to do this is CGI. So just like, do your best.
We're watching the what's this called? Gringotts Bank sequence.
Yeah, they're in the bank, and there are all these ugly little trolls.
Yeah, what statement are we making here, JK?
Oh yeah,
Banks are evil.
True.
Why
Banks
is the
are
bank
bad.
run by trolls?
You know, I think that
Or not
one
trolls,
thing about this
goblins.
movie that they do so there's so many different aspects of the story world that they can get away with not actually explaining what the fuck is really going on here. You know
They
what I
come
mean?
back to this, I know, in a later movie, but yeah, you're right. Like they just kind of set up things and walk away, and you're just like, oh, okay.
You just accepted that this is what's going on. you know?
I feel like, not to mention Lord of the Rings again, but Lord of the Rings does a lot better job of like explaining the building blocks of its world. It's like, why are the dwarves part of this, and like where do they come from, and stuff like this. This story is just like there's goblins and they're the bankers, accept it.
So
you know?
we're expected to believe that there's this secret world that Muggles don't know about, right? And in this secret world that is in another dimension, like where are they? Are they just on another part
Well,
of the
some
earth?
Muggles know about it. Harry Potter's family, his mother's
But they,
sister
like,
and her
let's-
husband.
they
Can we talk
denied
about this? Is this a plot hole or am I just tripping? Harry Potter is supposed to be half Muggle, correct?
right.
They don't mention that at
Is
all.
he? No,
No,
because
no.
his mother's a
No, he's
wizard.
full. Which one is 'Cause Hermione's
it's
half muggle?
half-
One of the main three
Well,
is half.
why is his mom's sister clearly a Muggle?
Yeah, because it's not. You can
It's
have
not
like
something that you're born with. It's like natural selection.
It's not the same thing as like you can have. I guess can two Muggle parents have a wizard child?
It's like blue eyes or brown eyes. It's
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm thinking because
genetics.
it's like
Okay.
Yeah.
clearly,
like you could have a wizard kid and a Muggle kid.
I
Yeah.
think they go more into this later. But
Yeah,
I think
Because
yeah.
I thought that Harry Potter was half Muggle.
No,
I don't
because
know
both his
why.
parents are wizards. They met at Hogwarts,
Got
so
it,
we know that much. So both his parents are wizards, even though his mother at least comes from a family where some of them aren't wizards.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
confusing because Ron's family has like 8 kids and they're all wizards.
everyone's a
Yeah.
wizard. So
Yeah.
it's clearly
Of
some
course
of
they
it
hate
is-
him. Of course his aunt hates him.
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
the aunt hated the sister.
What are you talking about? You get to be a wizard and I have to go work a job?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look, did you see all that money his parents left him that
Oh
like
my God.
did not go to like his caretakers?
Yeah,
I mean, they have a lighthouse. They're
Yeah.
good.
And
yeah.
and
They got that lighthouse money.
yeah.
And that money's only good in Universal Studios.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but I feel like this is kind of my big issue with this, and this is going to go back to the Quidditch match, is that like you can do like I love good world building and stuff like that, but the deeper you get into it, the more it's easy to see like the plot holes and the stuff that you haven't thought out. And this movie is already showing a lot of those like, hey, this doesn't really make consistent sense. And like that's the like if you want to invent a sport, go for it. But people are gonna like point out that your sport makes no fucking sense, you know, like and that it's really dumb. You know?
Why also like why overcomplicate it so much? Like, okay, so there's a ball and some hoops and you can score, but you score a bunch more points if you get this like flying other ball.
It also ends
but
the game.
she also introduced a third kind of ball that involves
just
like
beats
whacking
people
with
up, yeah.
sticks, and then also said not only if you catch the special ball do you get a huge amount of points, it's an automatic win.
Automatic win.
So
what are the other
So the
balls
points-
for?
the
So,
points
yeah,
mean nothing.
so let's game plan this out, because if you're a decent Quidditch coach, the first thing you say is, okay, our only priority is catching the, what's it called?
The snitch.
It's not called a snitch.
It is called
Yeah.
a
Is
snitch.
it called a snitch?
Yes.
You got to catch a snitch?
Yes.
Okay. So your
symbolic.
only job, yeah, seriously, that's like not, that's a real word that we use, guys. That's not even a made up word.
Maybe not with the metric system. They don't use that word.
Not with the metric system, right. Now, my question is, if the snitch is damaged somehow during the game, does it in fact get stitches? Okay, so if you're a decent Quidditch coach, you tell everyone, hey, don't guard the goals, don't pursue that other ball. Everyone is either protecting the seeker or beating up the other team's seeker.
Or can I just have 5 seekers? It could be like basketball. There's no positions left.
Yeah, exactly,
in basketball
positionless Quidditch. That's what we're going to revolutionize the game.
Well, I think the rule you're forgetting is that there's only one person on the team who can catch the snitch.
Okay, that's fine.
But
so
still-
just because I can't catch a snitch, that doesn't mean I can't pin down the other. Because there's apparently no fouls in this game because they beat the shit out of each other.
They
with
fall
brooms
to their
and
death,
They
like,
fall
off
to
of-
their death all the time. So
Temporary
I would,
death.
So
They
I
get
would
they
say,
get back up.
Also, the spectators are actively like doing spells on them.
yeah, also shady. But my
I
thing
think
was,
we're actually making a case for this game at this point. Like,
yeah, no,
there's a lot going on.
I feel like the game is fine. The way they're playing the game doesn't make any sense because I would just, as the coach, I would just be like, okay, we've got our seeker. Your job is to find the snitch. And everyone else, you're either helping the seeker find the thing and corralling it, or you're beating up the other team's seeker. Like, everyone on that team should be pinning down the other team's seeker, pinning him into the ground, and just being like, hey, we're going to just kick your ass until our guy gets the snitch.
100%, there are too many balls pause in this game.
Can you win without getting the snitch?
Who knows? It doesn't matter. You never...
Does the game like?
Yeah, 'cause there's no-
If you go through is there a time limit?
They
on
don't
the game?
say
I
that
don't
there's
see
a time
shot
limit.
clock.
They say the game ends when a seeker catches the snitch. So
So
in
what
my
is all the
mind-
other
So why
shit
even
for?
score points? Yeah.
Don't bother. Yeah, who cares? It's to give other characters that aren't Harry something to do. By the way, I know we're getting way ahead of where we are in the movie, but let's just point out that Harry, as a seeker, fucking sucks. He spends the first like several minutes of the game sitting on his broom, spectating, like being like, "Oh, cool! There's a lot of fun stuff going on." You have one fucking job, dummy.
To be fair,
Go
both
get the snitch.
seekers. To be fair, both seekers are idiots.
I thought
And
I saw
Harry
the other
only
seeker
wins the
actually
game when the
playing.
seeker
though.
ends up when the snitch ends up in Harry's mouth.
The snitch
Pause.
almost runs into Harry, and that's when he remembers, "Oh shit, that's the thing I was
That's what
supposed
I'm
to be
Oh,
looking at."
this is what we're here for. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, got it.
I mean,
Oh,
to
my bad.
Harry's credit, they do say that he's like a freshman
idiot,
or whatever,
yeah.
and like he shouldn't even be on the
Yes.
team.
What about the other guy? The other guy's not looking for it
It's
either.
the first mentally handicapped seeker.
exactly. Nobody as dumb as
History
you
of
has
Quidditch,
ever been
there's
promoted
never been
to
a
seeker.
secret this fucking dumb. What are the rules for cursing on this show? I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah, curse
never mind.
away.
Oh, it's
Okay, cool,
encouraged.
cool.
Yeah, the more you curse, the better guest you are.
This fucking dumb in the history of Quidditch.
Yeah, no, the Quidditch is what really lost me. And it's not a short scene either. It's part of the reason this movie is 8 hours long is because there is a full-length 40-minute Quidditch game in the middle of it.
Okay,
What's
what about
funny-
chess? Let's transition from Quidditch to chess.
The
We're
the
playing
real
Quidditch,
sport.
We're playing chess.
We couldn't come up with a wizard chess. She was like, "Oh my god, I'm already getting."
Well, it is the wizard chess.
She
Yeah.
knew that she was in
Now
over.
here's my issue with the chess game. Rod, get off the fucking horse, dude.
Yeah, he could have jumped off the horse at any time.
Yeah.
At any time.
He's gonna sacrifice himself. Nobody told you to get off. What are you doing on that horse? Like,
No,
just
but-
nobody else is riding.
Get off your high horse, Ron.
Nobody told you to ride. There was 2 empty spaces. His friends took the 2 spaces. They
And
they
so,
would have had to
if
get.
those pieces got taken, would they have actually died?
Yes, that's what I think.
Somebody would have probably had to cut them in half. Yeah, but Ron, you're right. Ron is the only one who actually was like volunteering to be on a horse when he didn't have to be on a horse.
Get
And,
off
like,
that fucking
once
horse, dude. Get off your fucking high horse, Ron.
Once the queen comes at him, just bail, Ron. Just bail out.
Also, here's my thing. I don't really know what I kind of got the characterizations of everyone. Ron is, loyal and, steadfast, and Hermione's smart and clever, and Harry's brave and also loyal. I didn't get Ron chess genius at any point earlier, and they didn't really build up Ron is actually a shrewd strategist who plays chess all the time. They never really
They established
they
that
have
he
a
plays
scene.
chess.
They have a
established that
scene.
he plays chess.
Yeah.
Hey,
They
listen,
have a scene
I
between
play
him
chess.
and Harry, and Ron is clearly the winner of that game.
I've played chess before. Ask me how many games I've won
How many games?
in my
have you
entire
won?
life of chess.
I won't ask.
I've never won a game of chess. So
You
I'm not
never
good,
won a game, or
I've
you've never won a game?
I've never ever won a game of
Okay,
chess.
gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
never happened. And so like showing Ron beating Harry at chess, who knows? Maybe Harry's terrible at chess. I don't know. But I just don't buy that Ron is like the go-to chess genius based on he's kind of a clumsy dope for most of the movie, and then he's Harry's poor sidekick. His
I've never
secret
heard you guys
genius.
talk this much about chess without nipples.
Pause.
Everyone shakes their
movie-
head in dismay.
We're watching the platform 9 3/4 scene, and it just makes me think like this movie spends so much time in the first like half of this movie setting up every little thing. You're not going to see how he gets to Hogwarts in the next few movies. Like, so they have to do it in this movie. Wait, how far are we? I can't. It says mute over the time. So
Sorry, we're
Okay,
a half
we're
hour
a half
in,
hour
and
in.
he's not even on the fucking train to Hogwarts
it
yet.
already feels like we're an hour and a half into this movie. It's like everything
Yeah.
is so long and so drawn out. I cannot believe that it takes like.
But kids love this random, stupid mythologizing shit. So I kind of get like the target audience for this is probably into all this stuff. But I agree with you. You could have cut 45 minutes out of this movie and really made it tight and fun, and it would have been more.
Can
entertaining
anybody
for me.
walk through this wall?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is another thing that like
Could I walk through this wall?
Why are there people
if you run
ignoring
hard
it?
enough.
I
Why
guess
are there
that's
people
it.
actively ignoring that this is going on?
There's a guy that when they run through, there's a guy who walks by right at the moment and like doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
Look, there he is.
There he is.
Yep. Did
Doesn't
not
care.
even turn his head as
There's
a
actually
boy
3 guys. I
ran
counted.
right into the wall.
It's
And-
clear that some of them can see that it's happening, though. Why not even comment or like take a second look? Just I'm too busy. I've got to get on the train. I saw that boy walk into a wall, but I'm too busy.
Well, it is.
Why are you
magic.
doing Jimmy Stewart and not somebody British?
That's my best.
At the
British.
very least, at the very least, from that guy's periphery, he's seeing a kid full speed run towards the
You would
direction
do a double
of a wall.
take at least. You'd be like, what the fuck?
You
Oh.
would turn to see like the outcome of that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, so to the point of all the what are they called again? These
Muggles?
No, these redheads.
Oh, the
Weasleys.
The Weasleys. To the point
Gingers.
of to the point to the point of all the ginger Weasleys being wizards, they are all also gingers, which would also be unusual in a family for everyone to be a ginger. So it's kind of like they're already defying genetic probability.
Well, do you know the whole ginger thing in England? That they like gingers are like that's like a thing worth. I mean, it is kind of here too, but like I feel like it's to a worse extent there. Like they hate gingers, like they make fun of them, and like to call someone a ginger is
thought that
like
was a joke.
degrading
Is
name.
that what's worse, being a ginger or a muggle?
Oh, in Harry Potter world,
no, in the real life.
I mean, here in this room.
Yeah, in this room, what is worse?
Would you rather
None
I
of us
call
are
you a
gingers
ginger
or
or a muggle?
muggles, but because we're all clearly wizards.
And
But-
if they can magically run through a wall, why the fuck do they need a train?
Yeah.
There's
Touche.
a magic wall. Can't the
'Cause
magic walls just take me where I need to go?
Later in the series, we see them like teleport places and stuff like that. It's
I think it's
There's
like a
flying
this
cars
is a
in
this is a
later-
hazing ritual.
There are lots
Yeah.
of trains
They
in
make
Harry
the
Potter.
students. They make the students go on the train.
But Jarale,
'Cause
to
it's
your
whimsical.
point, someone, J.K. Rowling, who wrote this book, she crammed in like everything that kids love. Trains, like
Muggles, gingers.
gingers. No, the ginger thing though. Did you know like back historically, it used to be that gingers were associated with Judas, and that's like why they were hated.
Judas
looked
was
down
a
upon?
ginger.
Judas Iscariot, or is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think.
Judas has a last
I was
name?
scared to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
Learning all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
So that means that Rick Astley really overcame a lot.
Yeah. Well, he should
yeah.
never give up.
Yeah. Well, he's never gonna give up.
Okay, let's talk about these jelly beans.
Oh yeah.
You purchase jelly beans that taste like earwax and dog farts.
Hard pass. Hard pass from me.
Oh, I accidentally got the butthole one. Damn.
Yeah. Oh my God, this box is all buttholes. What are the odds?
and they say bogey instead of boogie.
Yeah, and I didn't know what that meant until later. When, so this is also like the moment that you see, like, sort of. I know Harry Potter is a much maligned orphan in his middle class family where he grows up, But this is also where he gets to be like the rich kid and like treat his friend to. I'll just have like because Ron's poor. And Harry is used to being poor, and he's just like, the candy cart comes by, and Ron's like,
He's new money.
My mom packed my, whatever.
Yeah, it's clearly like a bag of dough or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a bag of like unflavored nougat.
It's like sludge.
And he's like,
Mommy,
no,
pack me my sludge.
we'll take the entire cart of candy, and we're just gonna be pigs because I don't know how to use. I don't know the value of money because I grew up poor and just came into a.
Yes.
He's like a lottery winner. He will go broke.
Let's
in
talk
the next
about
like
this.
4 years.
Let's talk about this. Another plot hole. If my parents left me a safe full of Scrooge McDuck gold coins, the fuck do I need to go to Hogwarts for?
Oh yeah, totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I could hire somebody to do my magic for me. can't
Yeah,
I?
exactly.
Hagrid, I think I'm not gonna go.
I'm
You
good.
know what, Hagrid?
I'm good with the lamb.
I'm gonna take these.
Yeah, this seemed like a great opportunity until you told me I was fucking loaded. And now I think I'm going to do some investments. I'm going to buy a Lambo. I don't know what a strip club is, but I'm going to see about that.
I just invested in Fire Festival. Don't ask. Don't ask.
The
I don't
bank,
know what it is, but
the bank was right in the middle of like the Rodeo Drive of wizardry too. Like,
Yeah, seriously, he wouldn't have got like, and he did. He blew a ton of money just on buying random shit, like the nicest shit. Yeah, I think that they say like lottery winners, the reason that so many of them go broke is because the people who play the lottery usually don't have any money, and when you have no money, and you go from like no money to millions of dollars. You can't even conceptualize what $1 million is. You don't. It's like a made up value. It's like if somebody said to me, "You have Googleplex dollars." I don't even know what that is. It seems unspendable. Whereas if somebody is like from a household where their parents have a couple $100,000 in the bank, they can conceptualize. Oh, $1 million isn't that much. So I've got to sort of strategize. So a lot of reasons that poor people win the lottery and go broke is because it's just a phenomenal amount of money. Now we're taking a poor child and giving him a phenomenal amount of money.
it's also like
great
it's also
movie.
magical.
Just to segue from what you're talking about, phenomenal movie, Blank Check.
Blank check, exactly.
Have we all seen it?
Oh
Yep.
yes.
Now, the funniest thing about this movie is that in that movie, the kid gets a check. The guy says, whatever you want, sign up for whatever you want. $1 million. $1 million.
Right.
$1 million buys you a hovel today.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles.
That guy who gave him that check got off easy. It could have been much worse. It
Yeah,
should have
this
been
is
much
what,
worse.
But
1995.
look at all the shit he bought with $1 million back in 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he
$1
build a
million
water
went
slide inside of his mansion or
He
something?
had a mansion, he had a water, he had
$1 million
everything.
felt a lot. Yeah, it was a lot bigger back then.
Oh my god.
He had a trampoline. I remember that's the only thing I cared about.
We
when I was
would
a
see
kid.
there right now. There would be a 38-year-old Harry Potter doing an interview with Dateline or something, and it would be like, Harry Potter, what happened?
Harry
Where did
Potter
the-
30 for 30.
Where did the millions go? You were one of the greatest Quidditch players in the world, a world-renowned wizard.
Right. That's
yeah.
me. That's me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's me.
I
Now
made
you're-
some bad choices.
Now you're having sex with goblins for money.
Yeah. That's also me.
Going into the woods with those gold coins.
Bad investments, trusted the wrong people.
That damn Draco Malfoy.
My financial advisor. Never hire your mortal enemy as a financial advisor.
So the kids show up to the school. They put a hat on, and the hat tells them, this is where we are in the movie now.
Yeah.
The hat is going to tell them which group to go to.
Yeah.
There are 4 different groups.
Which gang, if you will.
Yeah, which gang?
This all right, Matt, you beat me to it. You intercepted where I'm going.
Great.
Why are they teaching these kids to set claim?
It gets
8,
so much
9
worse in
years
the
old.
end when Dumbledore's like, "Oh yeah, Slytherin won." Wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
That was.
Hold on.
They're not my favorite.
You want to know? You want to know why Slytherin's evil? Because they're getting jobbed. This is the frozen envelope. This is the commissioner.
It's like, wait a minute.
The commissioner
We did
reached into
everything
the
right.
league. Yeah.
This is the Chris Paul veto.
Yeah. Exactly.
At
We
the
did
end of
fair
the-
and square.
the movie right here.
Yep. Yeah. And he's like, nope. Just because why would you even we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but if you're Dumbledore, why would you even set it up that way where you're like, well,
Yeah.
it turns out Slytherin won.
If you're gonna,
but
if you're gonna actively meddle in the results, like why do it so publicly? And why
Dumbledore,
after
ain't you
announce-
187 years old? Why do you care so much?
yeah, you think he would know by now, but he's clearly got a soft spot or a hard spot for Harry Potter.
Well, at minute 40 here, should I try to summarize this plot? We seem to be jumping all over the place.
Yeah, let's get the
Do it.
Now, I missed the last like 20
on the
minutes of the
clock.
movie. So, Colin, do you want to? What is that for me?
I don't know. I want to drink it.
No,
but
you
it
should
was
drink
closer
it.
to-
You can have it.
Matt's
You
still
guys
working on
have
his
to fight.
margarita.
You guys
Yeah.
have to fight to the death for that.
No, you drink the beer.
Let's
Matt's
play
got the
Quidditch
margarita.
for it.
I'm the snitch.
No,
or
no,
I'm the- what's
Matt.
it
I
called?
think you should just make up what you think you
Happens
remember
at
the
the end.
last end of the movie being. I think that'll be funnier and much more valuable to the
Dumbledore ends up in bed with Harry Potter. Spoiler alert.
That's true. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go.
Okay, so we start out on Privet Drive, where Harry Potter lives with his aunt and uncle, who are cruel to him. They treat him like shit. He lives under the stairs. He gets letters. He finds out that he, is being beckoned to this school called Hogwarts for wizards. They're like, no, you can't go. And so Hagrid shows up, and he's like, I forgot to mention that we see Harry as a baby, and we see the scar in the very beginning, right? Hagrid comes, and he's like, yeah, you're coming with me. It's your 11th birthday. You're going to Hogwarts. The parents are like, no, but he goes anyway. He gets there. Sorry, I'm out of breath. He gets there, or he gets to the town. I forget what it's called. The place where you get your wand and all that shit.
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley. That's it. He gets his wand. He gets his money. He gets all his shit, and then he goes to the train station. Gets on the train. Goes to the school. He gets put in his group. What are they called? Gryffindor. Terrible. Then he meets his friends, Ron and Hermione, and he meets Draco Malfoy, who's the villain. He learns how to fly on a broomstick, and he joins the Quidditch team. He becomes like the star player. It's a game that makes no sense. There's a bunch of kooky characters and teachers at this school, like Dumbledore and Snape and some other crazy guys. And
Sorcerer's Stone.
yeah, so they got to find this Sorcerer's Stone. They find this like
They don't know it's the Sorcerer's Stone.
right. They find a doorway that's being kept by this 3-headed dog, and they don't know like what it's protecting. And then they figure out later on, because Hermione pulls out a book that she forgot she had the whole time, that it's the Sorcerer's Stone, and they need it because it makes people immortal. And they think it's Snape, and they're like, fuck Snape, he's a bastard, he's like cursing me while I'm playing Quidditch. And it turns out it was this other dude who had a turban on the whole time, and underneath it was Voldemort, who's the evil wizard who got Harry's scar. And I'm out of time, but yeah, that's basically all.
And it ends right there.
That's where I ended.
Yo, I did not think about the turban. I did not think about the turban.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
All
they play
right.
chess for like 8 hours, but they kind of montage it, and then he kills Quirrell by touching him, I think, and then
Real Deus Ex Machina there.
and then that's where I missed, so I don't remember. So I'm
everything.
guessing based on what you guys are saying that they add up the points at the end, and you think, and Slytherin wins, but Dumbledore makes a decision, and
Judgment call to give Gryffindor just enough points that they pull ahead. Like literally just enough points they pull ahead by this much. It's not like I mean he's just handing these points out at random, but
Yeah.
And
not
he
like,
doesn't he doesn't say like, oh, I'm gonna give them more points so that they win. He says like, oh, I'll give them a little more points, and wait, I'll give them a little more points, and wait, I'll give them a little more points. Oh yeah, that means they win.
And then for this and then for that. Now the thing that's interesting to me is, did Slytherin not do anything? Do none of these people do anything that's worth it? Did nobody take out the trash for an extra 2 points? Did nobody?
well, Slytherin
They earned those points. They earned them.
But I'm saying like Dumbledore has some extra stuff that you didn't even know you could get points.
yeah, just random shit that he throws
And so
out
like
there.
did nobody in Slytherin
Like, they
wash
could have made
the
a
dishes?
case and
Well, Draco washed the dishes. An extra 2 points.
Well, Draco did suck me off last night.
I was trying to keep it away from that. Dumbledore definitely ends up in bed with Harry Potter at the end of this movie.
So what is this hat's process too, by the way? Because for most of these, like he's not even on Draco Malfoy before he's like Slytherin.
He knows.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how evil he is.
But Harry Potter, he's like he gets on his head and
Oh,
Harry's like talking to him and he's like negotiating with him.
And also, Draco Malfoy seems to already know that he already is in Slytherin.
He's a super dick, so he knows where he belongs. But
Like,
Slytherin is associated with the evil, that came out of there, but also big magic. They're supposed to be the most talented. They're like the
and
the
they're not all
Astros.
evil because Snape did a good job in this movie. He was that was a pretty good red herring. I mean, I kind of saw through it because it was so obvious, but like I bet kids
They do it like every time though. Snape is always the red
Snape's
herring.
always the
They're
bad
always
guy.
like,
Yeah.
we think he's up to something.
Yeah. But he's really just a nice guy all the time.
It all builds. It builds to something. I won't ruin it for you, Harris. But like, they think that Snape is always, even though that he,
Even though he keeps on
proven-
saving them.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
fuck Snape.
I mean, what
just
does
don't
he
trust him.
expect with that haircut, dude?
It is true. No, it's true.
That haircut, the way that he just looks suspicious. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you looking this suspicious if you didn't do anything wrong?
It's like if somebody was gonna looking for a babysitter, they're not gonna let Colin watch their kids. Look at him. It's like, at some point you have a haircut that's just like, no, yeah, you're just
Now
not
with that
qualified
mustache. Now with that mustache, he's not getting anywhere near my
not
kids.
anywhere near the kids.
Well, that was not necessary.
Just drawing a parallel between Snape and
Alan Rickman is so good though.
I was
He
just
is.
gonna
Look
say,
at all this
all right,
food.
is
This
so
looks
good.
amazing. Corn, chicken. What is that? A
Got
rack of
hat
lamb?
made out of ribs.
Oh my
and
god!
also like for the poor kids, this is great because
there's
it's
a
like more
full
food
turkey
they've ever
that no
seen.
one's touching.
Yeah, no, that's the cursed turkey. They're not allowed to touch that. So let's talk about this cast a little bit because we have three unknown actors playing the leads, but we also have like a who's who of all great British actors.
John Cleese?
Yeah, John
For
Cleese,
sure.
Maggie Smith, Richard Harris, Robbie Coltrane.
Who was the guy who sells the wands? Why is he so familiar?
That's
Wait,
John Hurt.
He's from Alien.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. John Hurt in like the tiniest part ever.
He's
I-
also
I
the
wonder
voice
if,
of the
like,
Hat.
I wonder if all their grandkids were like big fans of the books, so they were all like lining up, like, I'll play anything.
Oh,
I'll
I'm
play
sure.
the wand salesman.
Yeah.
And this was notoriously like one of the biggest casting like nets that they've thrown to like try to find who will play Harry Potter and who will play Ron and Hermione. And like they cast, they tested like every British kid they could get their hands on.
I think they got the exact.
Yeah,
now,
leave it at
the
that.
casting in this movie is one thing that I'll say. I think they got so much of it exactly right.
Yeah. And the kids are great, honestly. They're really good child actors. Harry is probably the worst of the three of them, I think.
No. I think Hermione
Harry
is the
does.
worst.
Really?
Yeah. In
Oh,
this
I-
one.
Is anyone
hard
else-
disagree. Hermione the character is fucking terrible.
No, the actress.
But Emma Watson, I think, is fine. I think
She gets better, but I think she's terrible in this.
Is anyone else weirded out by like Emma Watson being like really good looking now?
Why would we be?
I feel like Emma Watson's still far
shouldn't
too
have brought it
young.
up.
So I still think Emma Watson looks like a child to me. But
How old is Emma Watson now?
She's probably, I'm going to guess 30.
We can use the Google.
we can probably look this up.
Emma Watson current age. Look, I'm not trying to be a pervert, but it's just
Why did you put an accent on it?
well, that's just how I say pervert.
Pervert?
You don't
That's
say
just
it
how
that
I
way.
say it.
She's 31. She still looks like she's
Yeah.
a teenager.
Oh, we're
31.
the same age. Me, yeah.
Yeah. Like, isn't that kind of?
Emma's
it's weird.
fine.
Yeah.
Emma's fine.
Yeah, she's like
She's doing her
We
thing.
grew up with her, but
Yeah.
not me. I was much older at the time, and she still seems too young. She's definitely not the. Daniel Radcliffe is the. I feel
Daniel
bad.
Radcliffe is perfect. He never grew.
I feel he stayed young forever.
He did everything he had to do.
He Gary
to
Coleman
master
the hell
his
out
role.
of this. Yeah, exactly. He
were there
refused to
people
grow.
were there people behind the scenes trying to stunt his growth?
Do you know what I think that is really interesting to me is that these child actors, they get these parts where they are lovable and cute and adorable, and then they go out of their way to play cokeheads and hookers as they get older.
Because they have to break out of that Mickey Mouse.
Because
Like,
they say, play what you know.
they're trying to break out of their thing. Like, I mean, look at Robert Pattinson, who's Batman now. He was stuck for a long time at being known as like the Twilight vampire guy,
And he worked very hard
That's
to
true.
be in like every,
That's true.
Cosmopolis.
Yeah, Cosmopolis.
Yeah, and the Good Time, and he was definitely trying to shatter that image. Elijah Wood went through the same thing.
And
it's tougher
Daniel
on the guys
Radcliffe did
who
too.
are tiny and don't
It's
grow.
tougher on the guys who stay that size.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Gary
Elijah would
Colemans,
do
the
that.
Gary Colemans have a tough
Like
time
Bow Wow.
breaking out of that. Yeah,
Did you just say Elijah Wood do that?
I thought it was
Macaulay
so
Culkin
funny.
never recovered. I
You
mean,
know who never outgrew their role?
Who?
Dawson.
Dawson?
Yeah,
Dawson tried so hard
Yep.
to be like the
Yeah. What was
I'm
the
I'm
James
the
Vanderbeek.
what was the
Yes.
movie? What was the movie? What
Varsity
movie am I
Blues.
thinking of? No,
blue varsity? No,
not Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
That actually
Jay and
worked.
Silent
but
Bob,
that-
is he in that?
no,
It was another movie. I know a movie. He had like a masturbation scene
Yeah.
in the movie.
Oh,
the
the Laws of Attraction. Or
yes,
something?
the Rules of Attraction.
Yes.
Rules of Attraction. That was his movie. Because Varsity Blues was just another high school handsome
Varsity
guy.
Blues
thing.
was great.
Laws of Attraction was, it's Zedgy. This is Bret Easton Ellis. This is
The
I'm gonna
degenerate
be a
in the
different
movie.
thing. And everyone was like,
And it just never. You were always Dawson.
Wasn't he in a TV show with the woman who played Jessica Jones in the Marvel Netflix series?
I think that's the one that.
And
I'm
it's like the
talking about.
bitch next door. Or
Oh,
Yes.
in
something like
Apartment B or whatever.
that. Yeah, something
Don't-
like
the
that. And
bee
he was
the
in
apartment.
that.
yeah,
And,
look
and
at this.
he was
yeah,
like
look at this bitch.
yeah.
Look at Dawson's dick. It was just all full frontal scenes everywhere. He was just like, what do I have to do to get harder, edgier roles?
You know who's another kid actor who broke out? Neil Patrick Harris was Doogie Howser. And he
Now
didn't do
Neil
shit.
Patrick Harris is actually good at what he does.
Oh yeah,
When he comes out and plays that role of like the asshole womanizer, you don't even think about the fact that he's actually
super.
a homosexual.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
My
in-
monocle just fell out for the folks at home.
He doesn't even like women, but you
He doesn't even
believe
like all
it.
the ass he's getting.
But you believe it. You buy into it.
Yeah.
They did I remember I watched the Harold and Kumar movie.
Oh, yeah.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Or he's playing himself.
He's
But
playing
it's like the
himself.
most
That was his
ridiculous-
breakout.
and he's saying, "Oh no, I'm not really. It's all an act."
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? He's getting
Yeah.
at this girl or whatever. You believe it. You buy that more than you buy the truth.
Although I
which is
remember
that-
seeing him, like, one of his first adult roles was Starship Troopers, which he was not great in. And I
was
was
still
just
a
like,
kid.
What do you mean everyone was great in Starship?
If there's no
we're going to have to
bad
watch
acting
Starship
in
Troopers just so I
Starship
can shit on
Harris is a notorious Starship Troopers hater
it.
for
It wasn't
some
good.
reason.
Yeah. But
You don't like Starship Troopers?
I never saw the end of it. I
He
walked
walked out of the
theater.
Oh,
But how old were you?
I was like probably 17, something
Were
like
you
that.
on a date? Were you with a girl who
No,
like wasn't
I was
enjoying
with,
it?
probably with friends. I think we all walked out.
What the fuck, friends?
Just
are you
seemed
hanging
really
out with?
dumb.
I'm so glad you moved across the country to escape them.
Find really
Their
dumb.
influence was
Hey, we were-
powerful.
Have you guys done Starship Troopers already?
No,
Bring me back for that.
We
one.
were put off.
I know.
by-
you're the second request
we were all
for
put
that.
off. We were all put off.
You know
by
what?
Neil Patrick Harris's performance.
Now that I think about it, Starship Troopers and Harry Potter is really the same movie.
Whoa,
it's similar. Don't they play a sport that's like football, but it's obviously a
Yes.
fake sport? Yeah,
that sport is so
Yes.
stupid.
and like it's like Johnny
Stupid
Rico.
sport, check.
It's Johnny Rico going from the regular world to the world of like the military that fights
Guys,
the bugs.
I think we've
Yeah.
stumbled onto something here.
Oh my god,
J.K. Rowling was just rewriting Starship
she was
Troopers.
stoned and watching Starship
Dude.
Troopers. She's like, I got it.
The Fantastic Beasts.
yep.
All this movie needs is a giant alien that looks like a huge vagina.
I would really like to know.
But isn't that all any movie needs?
Some do. Some do.
I mean, we've watched several movies with giant vagina monsters. It seems to be a theme.
I would love to know if J.K. Rowling has ever seen Starship Troopers and if she likes it.
I think
or
we
not.
all have the answer to that question.
It's
Clearly,
yes, and it's the
plagiarism.
entire,
Yes,
yeah.
it's the entire Harry Potter
I'm
universe.
going to take it upon myself here to point out the fact that there are black people in this movie.
I was
I've
going
seen
to
a
bring
couple
this
of
up.
them, yeah.
One of them, that's the announcer.
They
right
don't
there.
the other one-
actually do anything.
They stand in the background and cheer on the white characters.
She announces the,
It's so
the Quidditch game.
black people in movies in general are so carefully placed. How can we maneuver this so that we can say there aren't no black people in this movie?
There are less than none.
But we're not gonna give them any of the
Yeah.
parts.
I mean, this is supposed to be reflective of what? Like, I was thinking about it. Like, who goes to Hogwarts? Just kids from England, right? Just
Yeah.
from the UK.
I'm gonna tell you something that you may not know.
There
There
are.
are black people
That's what I was getting
As
at.
it
I
turns
know
out.
this.
everywhere.
As it turns out, hey,
But this
do you
is
know
supposed-
that,
You
like,
don't
do you
think
know
they're there.
Do you know the national food of the UK is like Indian food because there are so many non-white people living there?
Yeah, there's no Indians in-
There are no
in
Indians in
this
Harry Potter
also.
so far. Yes, it is a lot of very pale faces in this movie. But, I don't know.
There's a lot of setup in this movie of characters that never come back. Like this Quidditch coach with the yellow eyes that they keep like having extreme close-ups of her eyes to be like, look at her eyes.
We spent the extra $40 in these contact lenses.
Yeah,
That's a piece. You can't reuse them. So that's every time we shot her.
Well, like the magical thing that that Harry has to chase down. That was Neville's little ball that like he looks into and it turns red.
The memory ball.
That nothing really
was the
happened
deal?
with that. Yeah, what I want to know what Neville forgot.
Harry risked everything to get that ball.
And what value does that ball have if it doesn't tell you the thing it forgot?
Yeah, it's pointless.
It's
just a
totally
MacGuffin.
pointless.
Oh, you forgot something. The ball turns red.
Yeah, and why would you keep that? I would throw that shit out as soon as I was like, fuck, I forgot, and I don't remember what I forgot.
Because technically, you're always forgetting something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could be anything.
Right.
Yeah, because if your brain stored all the information it was ever given, you would remember every time you took a shit.
I remember that. That's important. Fucking Neville, though. What a disaster.
I thought these like flying around on broomsticks effects look pretty good. Except for that right there.
No, because as soon
Except for
as
all the ones
they
we were
start
watching.
doing something, like you could tell this is like a CGI.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That was
Same thing with Harry Potter. Like as soon as they start moving around too much, you could tell
It's a classic. Do you remember like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies where it's just
Yes.
like every time he did
I was
anything,
gonna say Blade.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Blade 2.
Oh yeah, Blade 2.
They did a lot of that.
We
where
have
it was
covered
like,
it on the podcast, and it's all just like their arms just don't have any like joints or
Yes.
anything. It's all everything's
this
rubber.
looks terrible.
Everyone's Gumby.
But like Neville's dead, right? Like why doesn't that kill him?
This is all this stuff is the kung fu or not the kung fu, the sword fight in Blade 2 in front of the lights. That's what
Yes.
it all
Yeah,
is.
he just fell like off a roof. She's like,
He
"Oh,
just
a broken
spelled,
wrist
like 10
here.
stories.
You've
Yeah.
got a broken wrist."
yeah. And
the fuck kind of teacher is this?
and also
Aren't you supposed to be better at your job than letting these kids break their limbs?
Yeah.
What-
and now
what-
I'm just gonna leave them alone for like
Okay, bye, you guys.
what broke his fall was also like a trident that was jutting out of the wall that snagged his cape. What if he had just been impaled on it?
Yeah.
Also,
Also, that should have snapped his neck from like
Yeah.
flailing his spine around. Like
so
that.
my question is, because I do remember that some characters die in these movies, some students.
Yes.
Exactly how long is every year when they have their yearbook for the graduating students and they have the underclassmen, and then in the back somewhere
The
there's
obituaries?
a memoriam section
Right.
of like the students we lost, which I think we had two my graduating year of high school, and I feel like
That is a brilliant idea.
Hogwarts probably has like
definitely
14,
buy that
15
at
a year.
Universal Studios.
Can you fail out of
A yearbook?
Hogwarts or quit
With
going
the
there
dead with the
without
dead students
dying?
in the back of the book,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
for sure buy that at Universal Studios.
That would be a
You can
good
buy
prop.
the hoodies. You can rep
The
your
in
set.
memoriam stuff.
You
Yeah,
can
the
rep
in
your
memoriam
set
Harry Potter
with
graduating
the
class.
different gangs in the school.
Yeah.
If I could get that yearbook
Wait,
with all the dead kids in the back of the
Yeah,
book,
exactly.
Wait, weren't we just talking about Robert Pattinson?
And he does.
You know,
die.
he's
spoiler.
one of those people.
Spoiler.
Sorry,
Getting way ahead of ourselves.
spoiler alert.
My bad.
Yeah, no, totally. And that's definitely I think this is something we should acknowledge is that students will die at Hogwarts.
No, but like if you want to like stop going to Hogwarts, or if you're just like not that good of a wizard, can you get out of Hogwarts without like dying?
if you're like, I'm not sure I could survive this, I think I want to like take a step back.
Or will they just keep putting you to the test?
Can I go to the less dangerous wizard academy that maybe
it's
isn't
like-
as prestigious?
It's like the Marines. Like, if you're not doing so good, they're just gonna like be harder on you. Is wizarding like that?
Yeah. Well, and here's McGonagall, who sees him do one thing, like which is fly very fast on his broom, and is then like
And stop in front of her window for like 30 seconds.
is like, you're the new seeker because you caught that ball.
Yeah, McGonagall has like a little boy Quidditch fetish.
Love that iguana.
going on. I mean,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. McGonagall is like, for all that they are into Quidditch and how much like these teachers are like boosters at like a big, Division I school.
yeah, this is
The
the
way they
least British
influence
thing and the most like
American.
Southern
Yeah.
American
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
is-
exactly.
is like the way they
This
view
is
Quidditch.
college. They have a
Yeah.
college football relationship with their Quidditch
Yeah.
team. And
But
yeah.
the Dumbledore's salary is like way less than the Quidditch coach.
That's why they never brought her back for the later movies, because she cost too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this kid that the kid who plays Quidditch with him, who trains him, he's got like some kind of crazy accent. I don't know where it's from, but
How come
they never
Harry
bring
can't
him
get his fucking cloak on both his shoulders? What the fuck is this? Like, there's being poor, and then there's just like he looks like he might be.
he looks cool. That
mentally
was like a
handicapped.
style in the
That's a
90s,
style.
right? Like one shoulder. I remember some kind of jacket you would like wear it half on, half
You should
off.
do it like Will Smith style, where it's inside out and like the lining is really flashy. He just wears his cloak inside out.
There's so many like shoehorned in scenes of like acknowledging that Harry Potter did have parents, but they died.
Well, here's what I like about this. So, like, we're coming off of this whole Quidditch, like, sequence of the movie, which kind of sucks. It's like, you kind of have to suspend your, disbelief to imagine that Harry's like this. He's excellent at this game that he's never heard of, kind of thing, And we're coming off of this whole.
It becomes
sequence.
easier when we see him play it, and we're like, yeah, he's not that good,
right? But then you get into this like whole mirror sequence, and like the parents, and he looks in the mirror and he sees his parents, and I don't know. I felt like they did that right. They got like the emotion of him, like he didn't really ever know his parents, so it's like
I feel like the kid snooping around the fucking castle is dope. That's like what this movie should be almost entirely.
Right.
Is the kids trying to snoop around the castle, solve a fucking mystery. That if that was the movie and it was 2 hours long, I would be all in.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, the kids around the castle is great. The mirror is, I think, the best symbol in the whole movie.
Yeah.
When
It's great how it
Dumbledore
comes back.
says many a men, waste their lives.
Lost their lives in
thinking
front of
about
this,
what could have been. I was like, oh shit, that's
Yeah.
deep, Dumbledore.
Yeah.
That's deep. That really is. Can we back up real quick? One thing that you guys were talking about. Are there no other schools besides Hogwarts?
well, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, right? So like, is this
There are more.
Is this the Hogwarts of Europe? They
No,
kind of
it's just England.
It's just England, meaning so that every country in
So
Europe
there are
has
only
their own-
Hogwarts schools. It's like a UC.
It's like
No, Hogwarts is just one. It's like there's only one Harvard.
because they talk
There's only
about in
one
the
Hogwarts.
Fantastic Beasts movies that there's like an American equivalent.
But they have the thing with
but
the
it's-
Robert Pattinson movie where they
where-
have the other schools come
he's
and
from like
compete.
Romania
Try Wizard
or
Cup.
something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
And they talk
The
a lot about
Fantastic
he's from
Beasts
Hogwarts,
movies
but they've
are
got
like
other people from other-
Afterbirth. The Fantastic Beasts movies are like Afterbirth. They're not the real kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't-
yeah.
it's
they
not
dropped
the
the
actual thing.
ball.
I like it how they're in olden times because like it's always weird to me how these stories take place like all the stuff in them is clearly like from 19th century
Nowadays, yeah.
but the kids themselves all
Maybe
the
even
Hogwarts
the
stuff is
20th
19th century. The kids themselves are in the 20th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21st sometimes.
21st, yeah. So like the thing I like about the Fantastic Beasts ones is that they are a period piece. They don't have that like collision between olden times and
Well, they had to do something different.
yeah.
Yeah,
But those are just like the 19th century. They're not
Does
that.
Harry
that
Potter
old.
and this chick ever hook up? I don't know.
well,
Hermione?
I mean,
Hermione gets with Ron.
Is it a will they, won't they
She
thing?
gets with Ron.
she gets
Yeah.
with Ron.
Wow.
And then
J.K. Rowling
Good for Ron.
has since said that she regrets making that decision. That Harry should have gotten with.
It
Hermione.
should have been
She
the
should
cliche
regret it.
version. I don't
Is
know.
this what-
I feel like that's
should I talk about
predictable.
my theory now?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
This
We're playing Quidditch. At
Yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
You just
Okay,
talk
right.
about your theory during this long, extended Quidditch training sequence
I
with
feel
this
like-
this guy who was this actor ever in anything
No, that's what I'm
else?
saying. This actor, they set him up like he's a major player, and he never comes back in any of the other movies. I'm pretty sure.
either graduated or he died.
They
His-
literally recast him as Robert Pattinson, probably.
It's like they didn't realize how thick his accent was, and then they started rolling. They were
It's
like,
a good
"Ooh."
accent though. It's a nice Irish accent. It's cool.
I have a question about Hogwarts. How much magic do you need to know? And once you know that much magic, what do you do with it?
Yeah,
It
it's
seems like these magicians just grow up and fight each other to death.
they just become magicians. Like they work at the magic castle. And shit.
Oh, is that the wrong word? I'm sorry. They're not magicians. They're
no, they just become.
What are they? They're
They
wizards.
just become magicians. A lot of them end up in Branson.
Wizards and witches.
Most of them are doing the dislocated thumb trick.
Oh, what's that behind your ear?
Working
A
at
quarter.
Magic Castle.
Quater, yeah.
Doing
Got a
birthday
quater behind
parties.
your ear. Yeah.
What do you do? What are the careers that you have once
I think
you
they
go
just
out?
become
Like,
teachers at other wizarding schools.
because yeah, that's like it's either you're a teacher or you're an evil villain.
Are you saying that possibly Voldemort is the only one who's kind of on the ball here? Who's like, yeah, I don't know. We should probably be taking over. Pretty useful.
Is Voldemort?
I don't want to go into education.
Is Voldemort a product of the fact that there's nothing to achieve anymore? You know, like once you graduated wizard school, you're a wizard. Like, what's your goal?
And
after that?
Voldemort wept that there were no more wizard worlds for him to conquer.
Exactly.
Is Hogwarts just another failing public school?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what they say: those who can't do become wizard teachers.
Yeah.
Wizarding teachers.
That's true. I don't know. I think that this is. I mean, I don't think Hogwarts is a public school. I think there's like an Orco Academy that is the public school version of this.
That's what I want to see. That's
That-
the movie
yeah.
I want to see.
Well, like
That would be
Yeah,
a
it's like the
fantastic
DeVry
movie.
of.
That's what they should have did instead
Yeah.
of Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were the kids at the other school,
Yeah.
at the public school version of this?
Yep. That don't have the fancy robes and the fancy. They're not in uniforms.
Yeah, like their magic.
the gangs
won't-
have different names there.
Yeah, their magic won't make them like the greatest wizard of all time, but they can like rebuild an engine block with it.
Yeah. Yeah. The Wizarding Technical Academy. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I
This
graduated from Orco Tech. I'm an HVAC technician.
Yeah.
I can vision the commercials. You're not doing nothing with your magic.
Yeah. I've been sitting around on the couch not using my magic for weeks at a time, and I just got tired of it, and I saw a commercial on TV for
University of Phoenix.
Do you ever make things happen with your mind? Do you want to put that skill to use?
Yeah.
Are you working a dead-end job flipping burgers?
Okay, there's another black kid not doing anything. I can't even see his face. at this
background.
point.
Yeah,
Oh,
background.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Some second AD is like, make sure your head's in between their heads.
Yeah.
We want to see you.
This was a really great shot. I love this shot. I was like, are they outside? Are they inside?
I just remember this shot.
then, of
'cause
course,
every
Hermione's-
time they have a Harry Potter marathon around Halloween time, they always play
Yeah.
this.
And then Hermione's like, it's not actually the sky, it's a spell.
Right.
And I'm like, shut up, Hermione.
Wow, look at all this food.
Knock it off. They have terrible diets, though.
No
by the
wonder
way.
she doesn't have any friends.
Yeah.
She is the worst in this movie. Just
They-
the worst.
The script works really hard to make her like seem annoying.
They are literally just eating piles of candy here. Like,
Yeah.
do wizards? Is there a spell that keeps your teeth from rotting out? Keeps you from
Not for
becoming
that kid.
obese?
So you can't be out of your dorm past bedtime, but you can eat.
Yeah,
3
whatever the
pounds
fuck
of
you want.
candy.
Yeah, exactly. You were just gonna eat candy apples and fucking lollipops for
Even
dinner.
Dumbledore's eating candy.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at him with those veneers.
This is I forgot about this whole troll thing.
Oh yeah.
I remember because Lord of the Rings the same year had a troll scene, and it was
Troll
like,
is so weak.
Yeah, and
the troll
also-
looks like garbage too.
Yeah, the troll looks terrible. And also, the guy comes in and he's like, "Oh, there's a troll," and he faints, and then like nothing happens for a little while, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, a troll!" And they all freak out at once. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, when he came in yelling about a troll, you guys didn't like it. Took
Maybe
you
they thought he
6
wasn't
seconds
for
to
real. Maybe they thought
process?
he was just trolling.
Well, that's my question. Is like, are these kids all plucked from the Muggle world, and then they're suddenly thrust into this school where
no,
like,
no.
Yeah,
They-
it's
so they
like-
just did that with
Harry's the
Harry
exception.
Yeah.
because he was so famous that if they were to have put him in this world at any other time,
Before he was ready to defend himself,
People
That's
would
apparently
clearly
something
he's-
else would have happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because clearly he's ready to defend himself now as a 12-year-old or whatever it is.
Yeah, and also his next of kin was not in the world. Like the aunt was not.
But you get the sense that when Hagrid comes to talk to him, he's a little surprised that they haven't told him anything about this shit. You
Yeah.
know, like, because, you know, he's got to explain this to him, and he's like, oh, fuck, you didn't know that shit?
And like, why isn't there somebody who like works at Hogwarts?
Oh,
who-
see, that's just terrible.
Yeah, this shot looks bad.
Oh, just terrible troll
yeah,
CGI.
yeah, the troll CGI is really.
He-
bad.
It's
This
clear
is
that-
okay for the time. For the time,
Yeah,
this
but
is
you know-
2001.
But look at the lighting effects on it. It's just like, he's just so much not in that.
Why is this
environment.
troll want?
Why is there so much lightning inside?
Yeah, there's a lot of lightning inside.
I think they reused the same shot again, like when he swipes his club and hits the stalls
Why do
right there.
what-
Oh no, I see. It was the late. It was the.
Why is the
further
troll so mad at this 8-year-old
smarter,
girl?
not
Okay,
harder.
but wait, back to what I was saying. Why are there no Muggles who like work at Hogwarts? You know what I mean? Like, so they can like take advantage of, like, you know.
Well, that's what I was getting at earlier. Is like all Muggles are unaware of this world, and if they are, like the few who are aware, like his aunt and uncle, they completely like they pretend like it doesn't exist. Like it's
like why do you have to hate it if you're like, you know what I mean? Like why? Where's the love? Like
here we got a lot of CGI Harry Potter riding the troll.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Horrible,
there's
horrible.
that blade
Not
too.
good. Oh yeah, there's that blade good elastic arms.
I think of Matrix 2.
Yeah,
as, like, the
Matrix
one that
2 when he's doing that, when
introduced
he's
it.
fighting all the Agent Smiths.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the same problem. We're complaining about all the same thing here.
I read some crazy thing on Reddit the other day. It was like that effect in Matrix 2 is actually in world. Like it makes sense because Agent Smith, like duplicating himself is like overloading the Matrix, and that's why it like can't handle.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, nice
That's
try.
That's that's stupid.
I thought that was pretty good.
I'm opposed to this. Whoever posted that on Reddit, that's not accurate. Wouldn't it be funny if the movie version of Harry Potter decided to deviate from the books, and when the troll swipes at his head with the club, it actually just explodes his brain, and Harry dies in the scene in this movie?
I always think when the troll falls face down like that and he's got the thing up his nose that it should shoot out the back of his head.
Go up his brain. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would just be funny if, like, halfway through the first Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter gets murdered.
Look how much better that looks. It's like clearly an in-world like
right.
thing,
They've done
you know,
something there.
The troll laying dead on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
The troll's going to the girl's bathroom.
And here's where
that's nasty.
Yeah, they got bogeys on it.
Ew, bogeys.
Oh, bogeys, troll bogeys. This is where Hermione.
You're just
takes,
gonna wipe it on your robe,
on your
dude.
robe.
You're in a bathroom.
This is where you
There's a
realize.
paper
fucking
towel
tissue.
dispenser.
This is where you realize that he's a kid. You're like,
Also,
yeah.
I feel like the world of magic has a lot more gross substances. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
Like not only are there boogers, there's troll boogers. Not only is there slime, there's slime that came from, you know, some
The three-headed dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's some nasty stuff. Those robes that they give them, they should stand up to getting slimed.
You know, Snape could explain this shit to them. He could be like, "Hey, I'm looking out for you," and
That was okay. I'm glad you brought that up. That was another thing. It's just too easy to get rid of these kids. Like
Yeah.
they go and what is her name?
Hermione?
No,
Oh,
her,
McGonagall.
McGonagall. Okay, so they go to McGonagall. McGonagall, we gotta tell you, they're gonna steal the stone. All this crazy shit is happening. She's like, go to bed. They're like, all right.
Good point.
What the fuck?
I love
You're not gonna sit here and argue. You're gonna go and fight this shit yourself, but you're not gonna stay and argue your case.
I think it's always that the teachers like are aware of what they're talking about, but they're trying to keep a secret themselves. But it's dumb also because they're putting the kids in danger. It's like, who are these teachers? How do they get these jobs?
Yeah.
because they know the kids are gonna do something else, and also like the kids are saying they're putting them in danger. It's like these kids know what they're talking about. Like it's just they're basically just saying to the kids like, yeah, you're right, but you're not supposed to know about that. So good luck.
But they're all dismissive of the idea that Snape could possibly be the villain here, which makes sense because he isn't. So all the professors are right about that. But like they're not suspicious at all that there's all this weird shit going on. Somebody's letting a troll in. Somebody's doing this shit. They know that there's got to be a rat in the house somewhere, and obviously none of the teachers suspect Professor Quirrell, who seems like we've had Quirrells before on this podcast.
Yeah, he's definitely a Quirrell.
Different kind of Quirrell.
I thought he was Quirrell.
Quirrell.
Quirrell. It's Q-U-A. Quar.
It is? I thought it was Quierrel, like
Oh, like
squirrel.
squirrel?
No,
Yeah.
Colin, you're
That is a
wrong.
lot of letters.
You're
Say
wrong.
it, spell it again.
You're wrong, Colin. It is Quirrell.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Double
Quirrell.
R and
It's like
double
squirrel.
Like squirrel.
Quirrell.
It's got a lot going on.
Quirrell.
I once lost a fourth grade
Squirrels don't
spelling
have
bee.
Wait, do
on the
squirrels
word
have double
squirrel.
L's?
What?
Squirrels?
Do squirrels have double L's?
Squirrels?
No, they have double R's.
Okay. All right. Well, this one has a double L. So
I
it's
should
not
know
like
this because I
squirrel.
lost on this fucking word. I lost the spelling
You
bee.
spelled it with the extra L.
I think I did.
Man, this is just nuts.
Oh God! Nobody's got to buy
It's
this
the Nimbus
motherfucker.
2000.
Nobody's got to buy this motherfucker the Nimbus 2000. He's got $1 million and he spends it very lavishly.
McGonagall has a weird thing about.
She's a booster.
She really wants him to get into
McGonagall is for sure fucking
booster. She's like, yeah. And here's a little something for likeness and image. Just,
For likeness and image.
Is McGonagall going to give him steroids in a later movie?
absolutely.
What is the wizarding equivalent of steroids?
Okay, so that explains why Dumbledore gives him all those extra points at the end.
Oh yeah, he also.
You don't need
is,
to fucking study, dude.
Yeah.
I saw you with that Quidditch game.
You are
You're
a highly
passing the
recruited
class.
seeker, McDonald's All-American seeker.
It's all going.
I want to see
according
the
plan.
McDonald's All-American Quidditch game.
Yep.
There is an 11-year-old seeker out of Boise, Idaho.
They're not even
The chosen
American
one.
at all.
Oh
The
man, we
All-American.
still haven't seen the fucking Quidditch match. It feels like this was an hour
Yeah,
ago.
do you guys just want to fast forward through this 18-minute Quidditch match where
What's
stupid shit happens?
what's
We
so
put too
funny
much
about
hype
this
on
to
it.
me-
We gotta watch it now.
What's so funny about this to me is that like the Quidditch match was clearly the producer's idea of like how to keep it exciting and not make it seem so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just the opposite.
I would say it's a valiant attempt, but
Well,
it is not.
I
They
think
do
it
not
was-
do a good job.
It was written about in the books, and it's like kind
That's
of
what I was gonna say. I think there are things that work when you're reading a book.
Right.
Yeah.
They
'Cause it's
don't
vague in your brain,
necessarily-
yeah.
Right. The rules don't have to make sense. It's like they kind of write a bunch of gobbledygook.
I gotta say, if the rules are anything like this in the book, they would still not make sense. It just there's no reason to do anything but try to get the snitch.
Here come her eyes
But
again.
in the
There
book,
is
it's-
no such thing as a professional sports game with more than one ball at a time.
And if there was, those balls should all have a purpose. There shouldn't be one ball that's the victory ball, and all the other balls are just random distract the players' balls. You know.
That's why we need to invent turbo tennis.
Also, where does the snitch go? Like
go
they just
serve at each
it's
other
out
at the
there.
same
Does the snitch know the boundaries of the field of play?
Yeah, is the snitch
Yeah, what kind of
magic or is it a
consciousness does it
robot?
have?
I think it's it looks like a robot.
Feels
doesn't
like it's an enchanted robot.
I feel like it has like the mental equivalent of like a bumblebee, but it also does have to know the boundary of the area.
But also the physical equivalent of a bumblebee.
Yeah.
And also the spiritual equivalent of
Yeah.
it. The snitch is actually just a golden bumblebee.
But it doesn't sting.
What do you guys think is the best made-up sport in a movie
Ooh, that's a
or,
good
or
question.
TV show? I say Blurns Ball from Futurama.
Blurns ball. It's
No,
just-
basketball is a good.
The
Basketball's
score is
good.
70
Basketball
blurns
is
to
really-
18 anti-blurns. The
like-
blurnsmen are on the.
What was the rule? What were the rules of basketball? It's
Did
like
you ever? It's like how far you are is like a triple or a single and stuff.
it's like
that.
baseball with there's bases, but you have to shoot hoops.
Yeah,
right?
but the shooting corresponds to like double, single, triple, home run
Okay.
and stuff like that. And like you can actually play it. Like if you go back and watch the movie, you can like if you go to a court, you can play it. Just use like the free throw line.
is,
and the
is it based on a
three-pointer
game
and
they
all that
really
stuff.
used to play or something? Like they made it
I
up?
think so. But the thing about basketball, the movie that makes it like so much more entertaining,
The
is-
taunting.
yeah, the psych out.
See, yeah, I
Yes,
feel like
for sure.
I feel like basketball is it's a doable thing, but what makes it interesting and unique is all the
Yeah.
stuff they add to it that's kind of over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a game that you could play in real life, and I think that lends it to being like one of the better, movie made up.
I think Rollerball,
Sports.
the James Caan movie with the guys
Yeah.
doing that's like pretty. I mean, that's kind of a real sport.
That's kind of like
Does the Danger Room count in X-Men?
Ooh.
VR?
What about the Running Man?
that's what I was
oh,
getting at.
Running Man definitely
The
counts.
one
I don't
you
know
just
about
said
Danger
is
Room's
like
like a training situation, so I don't know if that counts.
But
as
it's like
sport.
VR, isn't it?
Yeah, but if there's no contest, like there's not really a winner. They're just kind of doing their thing.
Well, we got to play on story mode. You know?
Right.
That's, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Then it would count totally. No, I think I mean I would go with Running Man or Rollerball. Rollerball is just like a violent roller derby.
Blurns Ball is just baseball, but it's on a stretchy thing, right?
There's
So you hit the ball and it comes
There's
back.
nobody, but
Yeah, it's
no.
not
The thing
clear
is,
what the rules
the thing
of
is, we
Blurns
never
Ball
know
are.
the rules of Blurns Ball because when he tries to describe it, he's like, it's 40 Blurns to 17 anti-Blurns.
right.
The Blurnsman's on Blurns base, and she's like, aside from the word Blurns, nothing you said makes any sense.
What's the Sylvester Stallone movie? Where they-
Victory.
top?
That's just soccer.
Wait, which movie?
Victory. It's just soccer.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is Victory.
Over the Top is where he arm wrestles for his kid.
Oh.
That's not made up.
What about like Death Race? Does that count? Because that's like car racing. With
Death Race, I think counts. I don't. It
no,
wouldn't
it's like
make my top.
rollerblading. But it's a professional sport.
Sylvester
It's like a
Stallone
contact rollerblading, but like you can die in the game.
That's rollerball. Yeah, that's
Okay, this is
James
rollerball.
Caan was in the original, and then who was the guy in the remake? Chris Klein.
No, it might be Chris Klein. Yeah,
Is it Chris Klein?
But isn't
Rames?
Jason Statham in it too?
I think he might be.
Is
No,
Ving
he was
Rhames
in
in
Death
it?
Race.
Oh,
the
that's what I'm
remake
thinking
Death
of.
Race.
Yeah,
Is Ving Rhames in Rollerball remake?
he might be.
I don't remember. We're gonna have to.
This is a
haven't seen
good
We'll have to
question.
watch
Boy Ving
Rollerball
in a while.
remake.
Did
Oh my
Ving
God.
Rhames does he only exclusively do Mission Impossible movies now?
I think he's semi-retired. Let the man enjoy himself.
What a shame.
Also, he's bulking up a little bit. He probably doesn't want to be.
What's his
running
name
around
in
doing-
Mission Impossible?
Luther.
Luther.
Yeah, Luther. Good old Luther. When they kill off Mission Impossible, or when they kill off Luther, they kill off the franchise.
Yeah.
You know, he might not need to work. He could have won the lottery. You know what he said when he won the lottery? Vingo.
It's not even good.
you don't
wanna
even
play top
say
four?
bingo. Yeah,
Ving Rhames has some classic movies.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought
Let's play
that
top
was a good
four.
joke and I was wrong.
Let's play top four for. It's actually not.
you got to pick like one of the three leads, I think, right?
No, they're all awful except for Hermione.
Wait,
except for Emma.
Are you going to pick Hans Gruber?
That's actually not a bad one. Let's do that.
Who's
do
Hans
that.
Gruber?
Let's do
That's
Snape.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah, Alan Rickman.
So let me find him here.
I don't know what IMDb is gonna say, but he was in a great movie called Something the Lord Made with Mos Def, where they were
Oh, really?
doctors.
Oh yeah,
Really
I
good
remember
movie.
That.
They were what?
They were doctors,
Oh yeah, that was like an HBO movie.
and
right?
Mos
Yeah.
Def like
Yeah, I remember that.
invented
That
heart
was good.
surgery in the movie.
That was when Mos Def first started like acting, right? Or was
Yeah,
he?
he
already-
did 2 movies for both of them were
for HBO. Yeah. What was the other one?
Lackawanna Blues.
Okay.
All right. So just so you know, IMDb sometimes is very random in the top 4 movies they pick. And sometimes it is the exact 4 movies you would say when you were thinking about somebody. So with that in mind, let's do Alan Rickman's
Yippee-ki-yay.
top 4. And Jarale, you are up first. The guest always goes first. Name one Alan Rickman movie that you think is on his IMDb top 4.
Harry Potter.
You have to
Harry-
pick one though.
Yeah, exactly. You got to pick
Oh,
one. That's
Harry
actually,
Potter.
You don't have to go with Harry Potter first if you don't want to. If you want to go
He's
with
got
something
some-
else.
He's got a lot of movies though, doesn't he?
Yep.
Mr. McLean, there's one you're forgetting.
Now I have a machine gun.
Now I have a
Ho, ho, ho.
machine gun. Oh, oh, oh.
All right, you could pick a Harry Potter movie.
I'm gonna pick this one. I think this one is the top 4.
This
Sorcerer's
one
Stone.
is not in his top 4.
No,
Not this one.
Wrong.
Who's up next? Me.
Either one of you.
I'll say. I mean, we all want to say. What you know?
Well, just say
Just
it.
say
then.
Die
one
Hard.
of these Harry Potter
Say
movies.
Die Hard.
Fine. Fucking Die Hard.
All right, Die Hard is right. Colin,
Love Actually.
you're such a dummy. No.
No.
Wrong.
No. All right, back to you.
Oh. Love Actually is really good in that.
But I'm telling you, the first 4 movies you would think of, except for the Harry Potter one, which is complicated.
How? Oh, well, I guess you can't answer that. Is there more than one Harry Potter? On
No,
that
there's
list?
only one Harry Potter on the list.
Oh, that makes it harder.
It makes it very hard
Yeah.
because he's in all of them, I think. But
He is.
this is, it's a significant one. So
Harry Potter.
I'll
Part
give
2.
you a hint. It's not the first Harry Potter movie. It's very much not the first Harry Potter.
Harry
movie.
Potter
Yes, you
Part
know. The
4.
No, you need to pick the last one because he's saying it's not.
Harry Potter Part 8. How many fucking
Yeah,
Harry Potter
it's-
movies?
yes.
are
Part
there?
7, Part 2.
Harry Potter in the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah,
Wow.
Okay, got
is
it.
correct.
Wow.
All right, Matt, back to you. Pick something that isn't dumb.
Now I know the movie. I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's the. Hold on, I'll get it. God. Galaxy Quest.
Damn it, I wanted to guess Galaxy Quest.
Well,
Yes.
guess his 3rd or 4th most famous role, the one that hasn't been picked yet.
Oh, I just hit me. I know what it is.
It's
What is it?
like literally his top 4 is his top 4 most famous roles ever. Like
For once, it like
yeah, for once, it nails exactly what his roles are. The Harry Potter one was the only
Love
one.
Actually is a very famous one.
What's his character's name in that?
In Love Actually?
Yeah.
The businessman.
Yeah, see exactly. You know his character's
You know
name
his
in
character's
all
name
these
in
other
the-
movies.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Like
yeah.
Grabthar's hammer. I can't believe you can't get this.
Galaxy Quest is
Yeah, I
what
know.
think it is.
No.
You want to throw a hint out?
I feel like Colin should have to miss, and we
Matt,
should
give
move
me a
on.
hint for the one you think it is.
All right, I think it's How do I give a hint for this movie without giving it away?
Well, a spoon would hurt more, but you know.
Oh, Robin Hood.
That was too
Prince of
easy.
Thieves.
Too much of a hint, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's
Men in
that's
Tights.
Alan Rickman. And honestly, these are going to be slim pickings because I was looking at some of these other ones and they're not.
We can't do Daniel Radcliffe. He's been in like 4 movies.
They're all Harry Potter. You just want to.
Oh, are they all
you guys
Harry
just want to
Potter
guess a bunch of
movies?
Harry Potter
Oh,
movies.
fuck.
You're
He's
just gonna
got
be
those
guessing fucking Harry
indie
Potter
junkie
movies.
movies.
Yeah, but none of those are his top 4. Him and Rupert Grint are just both Harry Potter.
That
Harry
sucks.
Potter. Harry Potter,
Rupert
yeah.
Grint is on an awesome show on Apple TV called Servant. Have you guys heard of that show?
I haven't seen it.
It's like
I have heard
M.
it.
Night
It's
Shyamalan's show.
Shyamalan, yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I watched the first couple episodes. In fact, I gotta finish that shit.
I mean, we'll have to do Richard Harris the next time, but that's going to be hard for you guys. So
Yeah, a bunch of old ass
We'll-
movies.
we'll save that for next time. But yeah.
Damn, I thought we'd have. There's more actors who pop up. And
Yeah, well, there's
Oh,
new
we're gonna
ones
get
that
Gary
come
Oldman.
in. There, yeah, we're gonna have Gary
yeah.
Oldman,
Oh,
Ray
yeah.
Fiennes. There's a lot of other ones that pop up, and we can do Emma Watson is one that we can do. So,
What about Chris Columbus?
oh, that's an interesting one. I wonder.
You rambled off like all his movies earlier, so
Yeah, well,
Home Alone.
yeah, we could do.
that's definitely one of them.
Oh, is it okay?
Oh
Let's,
shit! It's
let's do
not?
Chris Columbus.
Okay.
Home Alone.
And
What?
What?
Wrong.
incredible.
That's not top 4?
Nope. Not
Home
in his
Alone
top
2.
4. No, I don't know if he even directed that one. All right, Matt.
I'll say Home Alone 2.
No.
Damn it!
Wrong.
If it's 1492.
You guys should get 2 of them.
Oh, Harry Potter 1.
Oh
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
what?
I
Wrong.
know. It's shocking.
Yeah.
This is why this game it makes no sense. Harry Potter 2.
Yes.
Harry Potter 3.
So we got
No,
what,
he
just
did not do. He did not do Harry
He only
Potter
did the
3.
first 2.
He did not do Harry Potter 3. So now we're in the hint round.
There's 2 left.
Yes, there's 2 left. We're in the hint round. And one of them is it was like the biggest musical of the 90s, and he directed the film.
Rent.
version. Yes.
Wow. He directed Rent?
Yes.
Fun fact about Rent. It stars, what's the guy's name from Law and Order?
Yeah. Oh,
His
fuck,
last
what is
name
his
is Green.
Oh.
CeeLo.
I'm going to
Not
look him
that
up.
Green. And not Al either.
Trent. No.
Mo.
No.
God, why isn't he? He isn't.
Is there a statue to Mo
He
Green in
was-
this town?
I was really surprised that he had that kind of range.
Yeah, I can't remember what I saw him, but I always thought he was really good. I can't even look him
who
up.
was he on
is
Law and
so
Order?
deep.
He was one of the cops.
One of the guys who
One of the
replaced. I
beat
think he
cops,
replaced
one of
Jerry
the
Orbach
detectives.
towards the end of the run.
I haven't watched Law and
I
Order
can't
in
even
like
look him up.
20 years.
They brought it back. Did you see? I haven't watched. I used to love. My mom watched Law and Order all the time.
Oh, you
And
know
I
what
got
it is?
into
Is Jesse L. Martin is his name?
Oh, that's what
Jesse
it
L.
is. That's
Martin,
right.
yeah.
Jesse L. Martin.
That's not Green.
No, I think maybe he played.
So
Green
what,
in Law and Order.
man? You didn't have to.
Anyways, we are.
I was confused.
I'm going-
sorry.
all right, since he got that, I'm going to give you another hint. This was based on a best-selling novel, and it starred Emma Stone.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
I think it's Matt's turn, and that is
Oh,
wrong.
it is my turn? Fuck.
So don't listen to him. It's not To Kill a Mockingbird.
Best-selling novel starring who? Emma Stone?
Emma Stone. It also won an Oscar.
Is it?
What?
I should say somebody in the movie won an Oscar.
I have a
It was
guess.
nominated for it.
Wait, you can't skip me? Can't skip me, fool?
Well, get it wrong so I can guess.
I mean, I don't know what it is. Emma Stone is the star of this vehicle?
She is the star of this movie. She is not the person who won the Oscar, though.
Yeah, I think I know what movie it is.
And it's based on a famous book?
Yeah.
based on a bestseller.
A bestseller.
I don't want to give Matt any help.
Is it? No. Emma Stone. I keep thinking The Favorite, but that's not it. That was an Oscar movie though.
That's a guess. You're wrong.
Fine. That'll be my guess. I know it's wrong.
Is the movie called The Help?
Oh,
Yes. Did you hear me say I didn't want to give you any help?
Hinting at the moment, yeah. So that's Chris Columbus's top 4: The Help, Rent, and the first 2 Harry Potters.
Wait, he didn't direct The Help.
He produced it apparently.
Oh,
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
he's listed as a producer on all of these movies.
Well, he certainly helped make them.
Way to go, IMDb.
Yeah. He did direct Rent though. So yeah. Yeah, so they've fooled us again. IMDb, canny bastards. All right.
Damn.
What's going on in this Harry Potter movie?
we're not
that
even
talking
halfway through
about?
this fucking movie.
It's so long.
That's what I mean. Like, it keeps feeling like it's almost over, and
we
then
must
you realize,
be nearing.
There's a
the
lot
end.
of bad teeth in this movie, for sure.
well, it's England.
We got like 40-something minutes left. 30-something minutes. Okay. All right.
I just can't get over this turban since you brought it up.
Yeah, it's
He looks ridiculous.
Fuck.
yeah. You don't see a white guy in a turban that often.
Who is the actor who plays him?
The
I've never
turban's
seen that
so
guy.
big.
The actor's name is Ian Hart, and he is in. Let's see.
I'm guessing he's in a bunch of like stuffy British
stuff.
Yeah.
Stuffy British stuff.
There's literally an evil villain underneath the turban.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's dark stuff.
Wow.
Apparently, he was somebody an enemy of the state. He was in a movie
The
called
Will Smith enemy of the state?
Yes, the Will Smith enemy of the state.
Everyone's in that movie.
That's true. He was
Jack
in
Black is in that movie.
he was in a movie called Escape from Pretoria. He was in a movie called Backbeat where he played John Lennon.
Oh yeah, Backbeat. I remember that movie.
well,
Beatles.
there you go. You're the only one who's ever seen Ian Hart in something.
He played John Lennon.
Yes.
The Beatles.
It's me, Paul.
The Beatles. It's me, Paul McCartney of the Beatles.
I'm John Lennon.
I wrote a song about an octopus.
Is Paul McCartney?
Can we do Walk Hard as a bonus movie?
Yeah. Is Paul McCartney in any of the Harry Potter movies?
Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
No, but I feel like he should have done like the soundtrack or something.
He should have done like a cameo. He should have been like some wizard from the wizard music school or some shit.
Or who's the one? Keith Richards. Like they
Yeah.
could have got him in there.
I'm Professor
He was in a friggin'
McMiniman from
Pirates movie.
Liverpool.
Why haven't we done the Pirates series? Do we ever even talk about covering that?
Because the first one's great and the rest of them were like descendingly bad and bad and bad.
You guys do any black movies?
We did Blade.
Juice.
Does that count?
And it does not count.
So we should say we
kind
only
of.
do movie franchises. So if they have to have sequels.
Okay, Juice is a part of a. Oh, no, not Juice.
Wait.
You could do Poetic Justice.
I was gonna say if there's a sequel to Juice, I am in.
We could do
But-
Friday.
John Singleton's trilogy of Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Baby Boy.
Are they connected in any
They are.
story way?
He's-
They are?
Well, he came out and said that it was
directed all of them.
it was a trilogy that he was
I
doing.
don't know if it's actually. I don't know if that
Within
counts as a
the neighborhood.
franchise.
Well, we've talked about doing
those are
unofficial
all
franchises.
those are all great movies though, but I just don't know if it counts as a franchise.
Who does know?
Well, like remember we talked
John
about doing
Singleton
like
knows.
Shaun of the
John
Dead.
Singleton
He definitely tried to sell it.
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
the
we
other
talked
one?
about doing the Cornetto
The
trilogy.
Cornetto
as a
trilogy. Where
franchise,
they're
even
not
though it's
really like
not really a
connected, but they're
franchise,
directed
yeah.
by the same guy with all the same actors or whatever. That could be something similar.
That's true.
Or like the Monty Python movies or something. Like
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's really stretching the idea of a franchise.
Right.
Although
I think we're trying to do
Baby
like
Boy
real
is so
ones first.
so incredibly underrated as a movie that I kind of want to just bite on this just because
Do
that
it.
is
Yo, I saw Coda this weekend. Have you guys seen that movie?
yes.
No.
It's really good. I cried like a baby.
It was trying to.
Oh, they got an Oscar nod. I have not seen it.
If
no.
more people see it, it will win an Oscar because it's like a weighted ranked voting system.
They're saying it's
And
the front runner.
Everyone who sees that movie is going to put it like second or third on their list. It won't make the first of anybody's ballot, but it'll be like up there on everyone's.
But
it'll
that's
be
how-
up there enough.
Yeah.
I
That's how
That's
you
how
win an
upsets
Oscar.
happen,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's how you win. I wouldn't even be an upset at this point. I think the only thing that's going against it is that I still don't think a lot of people have seen it because it's a fucking Apple TV movie.
Yep.
But you know, and like the truth is, it wouldn't have made my top whatever of the year. But if you're talking about movies that I enjoyed and thought were well made, yeah, that would be somewhere on my list.
What's it about?
It's about well, CODA stands for children of deaf adults. So it's like this girl who
the
grows
only
up-
hearing member of a deaf family and the stress that puts on her. It's like one of these movies that like just constantly like shits on its main characters just so you'll feel better when something good happens to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It verges a little on the schmaltzy side, but
I
like
think
it's
I
done
might
really
not
well.
like this movie, actually.
I know I'm in the minority. I
I don't
honestly
hate it.
believe with all of my heart that Dune should win Best Picture.
Oh, me too. That's not the.
No?
I feel like a lot of people are moving that way.
So many people hate on it. So many people are like,
What do you
oh, it
mean?
was boring. It
You
wasn't.
mean half of Dune?
I mean, all of Dune.
You mean half of Dune?
I mean, from top to bottom.
It's the
Best
part one
picture.
of Dune.
It's half of a movie.
No, it's not half of a movie. It's
half of the
it works. It works as a full
I get it.
narrative. Yeah.
So I went back and after I watched the new one, which I thought was really, really great. I mean, at least well shot.
You went back and watched the old one.
I went back.
We've
and watched
done that
the
on
old
the
one.
podcast.
We have done it.
Did you guys do it already?
We did like a
it,
special.
we did it as our Patreon one, but
I
we can
just
do the
like-
new Dune when the second one comes out. We can do the
Oh,
new Dune as a
fuck yeah.
franchise,
A
and that's
twofer.
going to be awesome.
Also, I'm willing to do the old Dune again.
Because the old Dune is
That was the
batshit.
craziest movie I've ever watched before, where they turned into Legos.
Yeah,
I was like,
they
what
fight.
the fuck am I watching right now?
yeah. By the time Stink comes out in a Speedo, you're like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm okay. This is-
This is the 80s.
No,
I watched
the-
that movie. I was like, this is the 80s right here. This is
No,
what
I
it
think
is.
people like really because Power of the Dog had such early hype, and I think so many people were like, yeah, it's fine.
I
but what
hated
is
Power of the Dog. This
you
was the most boring movie ever. I did not care about any of these characters. It was so terrible. And
I
guess
thought
what?
I thought the
Did you
There
see
was
how
a
the
movie
mountain has, like, a
called-
shadow on it though.
Don't fuck with me, dude. There was a movie called The Harder They Fall, a western. That
Oh,
came
yeah.
out
I
on
love
Netflix.
that. I love that.
That was a great movie.
that
It
was
so good.
that was a very good
And
western.
for some reason, The Power of the Dog just came out and totally eclipsed it and was like,
You know what? You know what the reason
This-
was?
I know what the
Power
reason
of the
was.
Dog was artsy, and the
I
Power
know
of
what the
Dog
reason
was
was. Do
Jane
you know what the
Campion.
reason is?
Well,
The Harder They
Do you know
Fall
what the
is
reason was?
artsy.
no, I would say the Harder They Fall was fun. That was
Yeah.
that was its biggest
but
detriment.
it was also a good movie.
It was good.
Yeah, no, but I think that's the problem. I think it was like fun and entertaining, and nobody wants to give an Oscar to a fun and entertaining movie.
No, it's got to be boring.
Yeah, exactly.
For a movie to win an Oscar,
gotta be slow.
it's got to be
It has to have some
somewhat
level
boring.
of boring.
And Jane Campion has the Oscar pedigree, and whatever. And like honestly, Power of the Dog had some great performances, but I was ahead of every plot twist in that movie. Like everything that was going to happen, I was like, oh yeah, that guy's gay. Oh, and now he's going to kill him. And that, like I was so far ahead of that movie that I was like,
Spoilers.
It's
I didn't
basically-
care
Yeah,
enough to be
yeah,
ahead
sorry,
of
gang.
anything.
I think
that
you're in the
movie.
minority there because like that's a movie where I'm watching it and I'm like, what is this movie about? What
They
is
tell,
Exactly.
you, they tell you in the first scene, the guy's
a
narration
whole bunch
says
of
like, well,
nothing.
what can I do? I got to protect my mother no matter what. And then it, like everything about it was.
See, I watched it over 2 nights, so it's possible I
yeah.
forgot that.
They tipped their hand on everything. It
Sam,
was, yeah.
Sam, Elliot, Sam.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
yeah.
got several names. I
So-
don't remember any of them. Not
So
a
he
single
came out and he said some things about the movie. Some of this stuff was like,
Oh yeah, Sam Elliott. Yeah, yeah.
hot topics or whatever. But basically that it was like not a fucking, it's not even a Western.
yeah.
Power of the Dog.
Yes.
It's less of a conventional western than The Harder They Fall is.
Yeah,
it's not
definitely,
it's not a
definitely.
Western.
The Power of the
Yeah,
Dog
Power
is
of the
more
Dog-
like
I mean,
a period drama.
Western
You know?
is
Exactly.
Kind of a, Western
More
is
so a
kind of
period drama.
I mean,
Yeah.
Western's a
It
kind of
is
a
an
broad
actual
category.
Western.
It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that fit into the category of Western.
Yeah,
that
they're
aren't the
literally
same.
cowboys.
Now there
Yeah.
are.
I mean, there always have been sort of, there have been like courtroom dramas that were westerns. We're talking like old ones, like what is it, the Incident at Owl Creek or whatever it is. Like there's westerns have sort of encompassed a broad spectrum.
12 Angry Western Men.
Yeah, but this is definitely one of the ones that for me in my mind it was like a thriller, like a slow moving, slow burn thriller that was set in the Old West. So I guess Western. But like honestly, I didn't get the hype.
I
And
hated this movie.
But I think
I
think
thought that
people
the
like
actors
us.
were really good.
I think people like us have now sort of soured on it a little bit, and it's losing its momentum. And I feel like Dune is
I
gaining momentum.
don't know.
there.
This is what's
I
stupid
think
about the
Dune is
Oscars.
clearly
like,
the
Power
best
of the
picture.
Dog. It was not a bad movie.
Oh
but
yeah,
I
no,
don't want it to
definitely.
win an
Yeah, definitely.
Oscar.
I feel bad.
And The
that-
Harder
that's
They
what I'm
Fall
saying.
was a great movie, but like it won't win an Oscar. And
Yeah.
like
I don't feel like I should have to shit on Power of the Dog to say that Dune was a fucking fantastic movie and should win an Oscar.
Dune, I think that Dune for sure. I mean, like you're just
It needs
not
to win
going
half
to
of
get
an
that
Oscar.
again.
sorry.
Like I feel like when you're talking about Oscars, when you're talking about winning awards in general, you have to award something that is rare, that you're not going to see replicated and repeated over and over.
But
and
you
over
know the
again.
Academy doesn't do that.
And that's not how it works.
I know how trash the Academy is.
Yeah.
That's not how
That's
it works
not the
either,
conversation that we're having.
Because once you start awarding it, the people who make the films try to look for specifically what's awarded, not just what's rare. And then that becomes unrare. You
But
know
the
what I mean?
shot,
I'm
the,
with you.
the cinematography in Dune
I'm with you. Dune was
so just
sick.
like
Dune was on a whole
really
other level.
amazing.
Everything, the editing, the sound, everything that they did in that movie.
Yeah, I
was
saw it in an
phenomenal.
IMAX theater. My seat was
Yeah.
vibrating and shit. The opening line of the movie is like, when
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
speaking
I
that
can't wait to
language.
see the rest of it. Will not let this go.
The only other nominated movie that wowed me was one I just saw a couple days ago, West Side Story. That I was like,
Did you enjoy that?
I was really impressed. Yeah, I enjoy. First of all, yes, I enjoyed it. I like musicals, so that's not crazy. But I was really impressed at how they could rewrite an old story and make it feel very contemporary and very relevant without really changing much of what they did with it. I just thought they really managed to like recontextualize this old story that really, should have been left by the wayside and did it in an interesting way. And I thought the performances were fantastic, except for the lead. What's his name?
Yeah.
He's just such a
I
wet
saw it
blanket.
recently too. I wasn't really thrilled by it.
But the two women were amazing, and all
Yeah.
the supporting cast I thought was really top notch.
What
Did they
I
do
was impressed
the
with,
snapping to intimidate the other gang members.
They did whistling and snapping.
Oh,
It was,
okay.
I was impressed with how like the camera work in it was really nice.
Yeah,
like
it's Spielberg. You figure
I mean,
you're gonna
God,
get
the dude
that.
can
Yeah,
do
look
whatever.
beautiful.
It looked beautiful, but like it really felt like I was watching an old like CinemaScope like 1950s.
Yeah, the choreography and stuff,
musical.
but yet it also felt like it was in real environments. I'm sure there was like mostly sound stages, but it definitely felt like it was like sort of, I don't know. I was very impressed by it. I don't think it wasn't better than Dune, but I liked it.
So you really like the
I haven't
camera,
watched it yet.
The
Yeah.
camera work
I haven't
in West
seen it
Side
yet.
Story? Did they continue to move the camera to the left side to tell the story?
Oh, so now you're really reaching. It's very, it's very
like his
very-
brain is working.
I-
he's like,
I
got
could-
one, and he's
I feel like okay, it's Spielberg, he's gonna get a nomination.
oh yeah,
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? And I haven't checked it out yet. But I do know that watching Dune, I was like,
Like that guy didn't get a nomination for directing.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
fucking. It's
I
crazy.
mean, I've told you guys this obviously, but the three movies that I've been most impressed with this year, and I guess I'll sort of add West Side Story as like the fourth one on this list, but it's like the second level. But like it was Dune, it was Last Night in Soho, which shocked me how much I enjoyed that movie.
And wait, can we all say the last one at the same time? One,
Sure.
two, three.
The Last Duel. The
That
Last
movie
Duel was so
fucking rules.
fucking good. Why weren't people more in on that? I don't get it. I just don't get it. But those were the movies
That movie was nominated for nothing.
those
is
movies
criminal.
wowed me.
They didn't get any nominations for Last
No.
Duel?
Nothing. Not
No.
editing, not directing, which
And
it
it
should have
was
gotten.
good. It was like a really good film. I mean, I think of all of them, I think Dune would still probably be sort of just because, like you said,
Yeah.
it was pushing the boundaries of how you watch a movie and what you can do on the screen.
there's so many great things. I mean, it's a movie. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, sometimes
you
people
have
just
to
go, hey,
experience
yeah,
this thing.
We're gonna watch a fucking movie now. Everyone,
Yes.
buckle in.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
That's fun. And that's honestly, that's kind of what I liked about Last Night in Soho was there was no like pretense there of trying to do, they were like, I'm going to tell a fucking, like Edgar Wright was like, I'm going to tell a story and I'm going to keep you guessing, but it's going to have like shit that you're like, it's going to wow you with just the sounds and the pictures and not on the level of Dune, but it definitely was like this. I'm a huge Brian De Palma fan. There are some directors who are just like, when you're watching a movie, they're like, I'm not gonna hide the fact that you're watching a movie and we're gonna
Right on.
take you on a ride. And I'm always impressed when somebody does that. It's that
And
always
it
is
works.
bonus points and it works.
Yes.
Yeah,
I just
you can fall on
saw-
your face that way too sometimes.
I just saw a foreign movie called The Worst Person in the World.
I was just about to say that.
yeah, I
saw
haven't
that?
seen that, but everyone says that's great.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all. The title's a little misleading.
Yeah, that and Drive My Car are two that I,
bad, but the
The worst? What constitutes the worst?
I was just imagining someone doing that in the middle of the movie
theater.
in a packed theater.
It's like directed by, and then he just starts like going off, throwing his popcorn. What? That wasn't the worst. I've seen worse than that. My daddy's worse than that guy. I'm good.
I'm with it.
So Harry Potter.
Does anybody want these mushrooms in my pocket?
Oh God, this movie is still on.
Yeah.
Is the Quidditch match over?
Yeah, it is. Somehow.
Rematch.
What part is this? Oh, this is when they're punished for wandering into the woods by
And then they have to go back into the woods as their punishment.
Yeah. Their punishment is okay. In the middle of the night, they snuck out to go talk to Hagrid, and their punishment is we're gonna send you out into the woods with Hagrid in the middle of the night.
Where they are almost murdered.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is my least
I
favorite
think that
part.
counts as a punishment.
This is my least favorite part because Harry gets Deus Ex Machina'd by fucking Centaur, who we never see again in any of the movies.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
we do see him again.
Oh, really?
We do see him again. I forget which movie it is, but I remember waking up in the middle of one of these Harry Potter movies, watching it with my kids, and there's for sure like a scene. They're all in the woods and they're uniting and everything like that.
Maybe they had to do that. They're like,
I think we do see him for a brief moment in one of
to validate. We got to validate that scene in the first one by bringing him back.
I feel like because these movies were so popular and because they were like syndicated onto cable, like most people's memories of them are not as like individual movies, but like just like
it all blurs
lucid
together.
dreams where I was sleeping and I woke up and saw part of it and then I went to sleep again. Like,
So it's not just me, you're saying?
Yeah, like it's just like the Harry Potter story never really begins or ends.
Well,
it's just like every once in a while you wake up and like Harry's out there.
Well, it's
doing
kind of
they're
like how
still going.
the Bond movies were syndicated and played so much that they kind of all bleed together. It's tough to sometimes remember which scene was from which one, and your only help is that like you can sometimes remember who the Bond was.
Right.
But even that gets fuzzy. At least these ones we know.
It's all the same characters.
When
in all the
Daniel
movies.
Radcliffe has a 5 o'clock shadow, that's one of the later ones.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, I'm still in school.
When Daniel Radcliffe gets those bags under his eyes.
This series does a good job of like it's you never hear someone really say like, oh, the first one's the best and then the rest kind of suck or whatever. It's not that kind of series where like Raiders of the Lost Ark, you'd be like, oh, well, that's like clearly the best one, and then it's all.
Oh, I was hoping this is one
Last
where
Crusade
people
is
say
the
the first one sucks and all the rest of them are good because.
Try again, Matt.
Shut up, watch.
Try again, dude.
Because the first one is not, that Centaur's bad.
Wait, you're talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark?
No, this.
Oh.
I'm talking about. I hope
So
this is
is
the worst.
Centaur in the
Somebody
front
tell me
and
this
his
is the worst
dick is way in the back?
Aren't there a lot of
I assume
Yeah.
that's how centaurs
Yeah,
work.
the penis is in the position of a horse penis.
So like,
So he's all the way in the front, and he's got it like.
So
how
he
does
can't-
he
he can't-
navigate
so when he
things?
masturbates,
How
He
does
can't
jack
reach his
off?
own dick.
He's
yeah,
gotta-
yeah, he's got to give himself a
all the
reach
way
around.
back.
It's really
I
weird.
feel like that's probably a part of centaur culture. Like, you have to jack.
You almost have to like
someone
limbo to jack yourself off.
Have you guys ever seen that Christopher Walken SNL sketch with the centaurs?
No, I don't think
Christopher,
I have.
it's great. Christopher Walken's like a boss.
said a lot right there.
He's sitting at a desk, and Chris Parnell comes in, and he's a centaur, and they put him in this whole like get up, and he's like a full centaur, and he's there for a job interview, and Christopher Walken's like, I'm going to put away all the job-related questions and just ask you centaur-related questions, if that's okay. And he's like, fine. And he's like, are you attracted, if you see a regular horse from behind, but you don't, he's like, are you attracted to that horse? And he's like, I guess if I don't see the front and I think it's a centaur. He's like, okay, very good. And then, and he asks him like all these ridiculous questions that are centaur related. And he's at the end, he's like, well, do I have the job or what? And he's like, no, because we don't hire dirty centaurs. It's the best sketch ever.
Yeah,
Look how big this fireplace is. There's a whole room in that fireplace.
yeah. These are. I mean,
I
know
want that fucking fireplace.
I know the Weasleys are poor, but once you get into Hogwarts, you're one of the haves. You're one of the 1%.
Yeah. How do the Weasleys pay for Hogwarts? Do you
Scholarships.
Not, do you
Yeah,
not,
they're on scholarships, yeah.
Quidditch.
Quidditch
Financial
scholarships.
aid, scholarships.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hogwarts financial aid.
The brothers got in. You get a little.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What do you think the APR on the wizard loans is?
Jesus.
There's a spell for that. But you just said like we've got like the Deus Ex Machina of Harry escaping from Voldemort in the woods.
The unicorn
where
blood sequence is pretty
Centaur
cool.
comes in. But like my biggest complaint of my many big complaints of this movie is that the entire film sort of ends with a huge Like he's finally confronted by this wizard who's, supposed to be more powerful than him and is going to kill him. And luckily,
the whole time it turns out he could have just snuffed him easy.
Yeah, love is the
all he had to
answer.
do was
Just
touch him. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this, and it's like the most stupid. It's not like, oh, this was your parents put a protective hex on you, where if anyone evil tries to touch you, you can kill them with your hands. It's like literally your mom loved you, so you can kill bad people with touching them.
I thought he killed him because he touched the Sorcerer's Stone first, and it was like an alchemy thing.
That's not what.
That would have made more sense.
That would have made more sense. That's not what what's his name says at the end. He says it's because his his mother
secret
died.
ingredient is love.
The secret ingredient is love. It says his mother died saving him in an act of love, and therefore he can kill evil people with his hands or something, which I don't think happens in future movies.
No,
so.
I think in the later ones they kind of come up with more clever.
In the later movies, when Harry gets rid of the bow cut, I don't see the scar. Is it just me? Am I tripping? Does the scar heal?
Maybe it fades a little bit.
You know what I said when I was watching this movie? I remember the scar being more in the middle of his head. It's
That's what
more
I
to
thought,
the right
too.
side.
No, it's always been on
Maybe
the
I'm
side.
thinking about the book illustrations or whatever.
But that's a fake ass background there.
Oh,
Yeah.
so fake.
Run
towards the green
screen. Just tear right through it.
Here's the scene right here. They come to her. They say, "Look, we figured it out. There's some evil person trying to steal the Sorcerer's Stone."
You're
Y'all
not
go to
supposed know the
fucking bed.
Sorcerer's Stone exists.
McGonagall's like, listen, you should be concentrating on the next Quidditch match.
Yeah.
You're not here to find Sorcerer's Stones and fight Voldemort. You're here to play Quidditch, Harry.
I don't pay you to fucking think, Harry.
Exactly.
Did you find that out while you were lifting weights, Harry?
Yeah. Harry, have you perfected your HGH spell yet?
Have you been watching the training montage from Rocky IV, like I told you?
Yeah.
Do they watch? Do you watch like film on other Quidditch games? Like, do you?
It's like crystal ball. It's like crystal ball. You got to like stare into the crystal ball and watch like game tape.
See, look at this motherfucker. Why is he being so creepy?
With his
Yeah, he
Edgar
didn't
Allan
do
with his
nothing.
Edgar Allan Poe outfit and his weird emo hair.
Look at how he's looking. Turn
Yeah.
your fucking head, dude.
That's
Yeah.
also why
Yeah.
it's perfect casting, because that is just how he looks. He looks like that in every movie.
Yeah, that's true.
He's extra weird in these. Like he's more of a human being in other movies than this.
I actually felt the opposite. I thought that he was more like down to earth in this movie than in the other movies.
It's
that
funny
I've seen
hearing
this
you
man.
say that when we're watching the expression on his face, where he literally looks like he's
a
been
crazy
beamed
person.
down from another planet.
Yeah. No, he literally keeps like looking off into the distance, like in weird directions, as if like it's sort of like he's had like a UFO experience or something.
And he's kind of got like the Barbara Bush thing where you can see the top of his pupils, and he's always like kind of looking down on them, and like, ew. Like he's like mildly surprised by everything, but also not impressed.
Harry Potter definitely had a booger in that last scene.
But like, if he was playing a character that had been abducted by aliens and probed, I would think he would play it the same way.
Yes, nailed it. Yes, totally. Yeah.
Do you think they cast Emma Watson and they were like she's going to be hot in 15 years?
I think they do. I think they have an algorithm.
They just
those,
know.
those Disney kids and shit like this. I think they do.
Let's just take some measurements here. Yes, she's going to be hot.
What's funny is that sometimes, like when people get their adult features, sometimes they get really funky looking, but like
And that makes it so much hotter.
Case in point, like most kids.
And it's also
who are in
easy
movies.
to be good looking when you have a lot of money.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's probably whenever anyone talks about child actors growing up to be attractive, that's the unstated thing is that, like, when you got money, you fix things, and you live well. And yeah. But definitely, there are definitely people who just like get giant noses and giant ears and, like I look back at like my high school yearbook or my middle school yearbook, I could tell you a lot
often?
I'm just saying I've seen those things and I've been like, oh my God, I can't believe this person who looks like something completely different now looked like this at one point with like cute little kid features.
Oh well, still got to murder him.
Yeah, I mean the list is ongoing, so it's
As he circles their face with blood.
But it's like Daniel Radcliffe not growing past 5'5" or whatever is sort of an unanticipated
Poor guy.
thing,
Yeah, it's
see,
like the Elijah Wood syndrome.
Did you see Guns Akimbo? Anyone see that?
No.
Daniel Radcliffe movie.
He did a lot of like indie movies that, like, what's that famous one?
Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a hoot. That fucking is ridiculous. Have any of you guys seen that?
I've never watched it. No.
It's worth watching once. It's a fun movie. It's like I'm not gonna lie. You will not be bored, and you will laugh a lot.
It sounds like a movie I would really like. The directors of that movie have a new one coming out that like people are saying
the Daniels. Is that
the
Is
Daniels?
that who it is?
Their new movie is called Everywhere, All the Time, All at Once,
yes,
or something
all at
like
once,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh, that's the one with what's her name?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Asian woman, right?
It's true.
What?
Which Asian woman?
I mean, no, don't narrow it down.
I realized I knew what you were talking about.
The one who's in that movie. Yeah, no, absolutely. That looks interesting. They did a Turn Down for What video, which was a classic, like a modern classic video. But I was at Sundance when Swiss Army Man came out, and that has like I don't know, I want to say like a 10-minute like pre-title sequence where what's his name? Not Daniel Radcliffe, the other guy in that.
I forget who the other
the
guy
guy
is.
from the Batman.
Oh, Pattinson.
No.
Oh.
Paul Dano?
Dano.
Yeah, Paul Dano.
Oh, I got it first.
Tries to hang himself, and then ends up riding Daniel Radcliffe's dead body through the waves like a sea-doo. And
It's propelled by farts, right?
like
Oh,
a
yeah,
sea-doo
I've heard
propelled
of
by
this.
farts. And at the end of that sequence, I would say probably like 10% of the audience stood up and walked out of the theater at Sundance. And about 25% stood up and gave it a standing ovation. I was clapping. It was very good. But,
Cheers to the farts.
yeah, it was a wild movie. Definitely worth checking out.
When are they making Swiss cheese, man? You know what
I don't even
This
know.
scene looks a lot like Alien to me. I don't know. This scene reminds me of
I was
Alien.
just gonna say that when they landed on that shit.
Yes,
I was like,
with
they're gonna
the-
start
the
riding
tree.
around and having sex with the alien. The next scene is gonna be the hybrid comes out, the Harry Potter alien.
Yeah,
queen
Ron
hybrid.
Weasley's definitely getting raped by this alien beast at this point.
It's up my ass. Did it go up your ass?
Ron is getting the business.
told you to relax.
Luckily, there was a spill.
Not when it's so far up my ass.
It loves gingers. I hear it whispering that it loves gingers.
Oh boy. We are coming up on the chess scene, which means that we got to be near the 2-hour mark of this
We're in the
podcast.
like delirium phase of the podcast.
I think we have to wrap this up. We're not going to see the end of the movie.
Just skip to the part I didn't get to see.
This is going to be the podcast where we actually are not longer than the movie because this movie has outlasted us. We should start doing our summaries.
Well, you know,
In conclusion,
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you going to go, Colin? Are you going to rate this thing?
I just think
Or are you going to make some pun and we're going to groan and then I'm going to have to rate this thing?
you're being a real dumble.
Yeah, I
dick.
really stepped on it. I really stepped on your pun, right? Can't do it now. Called you out. All right. I am going to rate this thing.
All right.
So, this is a movie that I've seen before. I don't remember when. I don't remember the context, but it definitely happened.
Perhaps in a theater. Perhaps on a TV screen.
Definitely not in a theater, but perhaps on a TV screen. Never read any of the books, and I'm not familiar with this franchise. And I knew this was kind of more kid oriented. The actors are younger. It's like the first entry, but I couldn't believe how like kind of silly and very targeted at children it is, especially because I remember kind of enjoying some of these, and I've only watched like 3 of them. So this is definitely not one that I enjoyed. I can't believe kids sit through a 2.5-hour movie.
They don't.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
No kid has ever gotten
This
to
is
the
insane.
end of this
This is an insane length for a movie that's clearly targeted at children. I think the performances are kind of mediocre and way too on the nose, especially like all the reaction shots. It's like everyone reacting in wonderment. Daniel Radcliffe's wonderment face gets so overused in this. It's very annoying. That having been said, and also all the CGI shit is just fucking terrible. It's so dated.
This part we're watching in
Yeah,
particular.
it's so much of it is just dated. It just doesn't age well. That having been said, it was a really entertaining story. I thought it was a really fun, entertaining adventure of like, I wish it was shorter, but I was like on board with it. They could have cut out the Quidditch match. They could have cut out the chess game. But I enjoyed a lot of this movie. I enjoyed the mythology. The truth is, when I finished this movie, my first instinct was to put on the next one. Like, I kind of wanted to see, like, what happens, because I know it's going to get better now that we've got all the bullshit out of the way. I was anticipating more fun. I'm going to give this 5 Timothy Dolphins, which is very harsh, but I give it 5 Timothy Dolphins because I just feel like they could have made a much better movie out of this material. And I know I'm not the target audience, but I feel like there are a lot of kids' movies that I do enjoy, and this isn't one of them. I will never watch this movie again. And I feel like the franchise gets better and has a lot more potential. So I'm going to start with the 5 Timothy Dolphins, and we'll see where we go.
Wow. Bold statements, bold thoughts. Jarale, how do you feel about this movie? As we enter the chess scene.
So
The interminable chess.
I thought this movie, at some points, it felt really bad. And at some points, it felt like, okay, this is why this thing works. And ultimately, the movie works. You know, it's hard to argue with the success of this franchise, and this is the first of the movies that kicks it all off. A lot of these moments are overplayed. They're drawn out longer than I think that they really have to be. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I will give this movie 6.5 Timothy Dolphins.
It's comical how you just always love the color Dolphins.
Yeah.
All right.
6.5 Timothy Dolphins, because the movie does work. I think that it's more of a good movie than it is a bad movie. I'm a 35-year-old man, and I have to take it into consideration that I'm not the target audience for this thing that I've only just watched yesterday.
Yes.
I have no emotional attachment to all of these white people and their British accents.
But you are going to watch the rest of the franchise now.
I'm definitely not going to watch the rest of the franchise now. After today, I'm all the way done with Harry Potter. My kids like it, though. Like I said, I woke up in the middle of one of these before. 6.5.
Beautiful.
Final answer.
Nice.
It's a good rating.
Should I go, or do you want to go? Or
I'll go, sure.
I'm going last.
Yeah, I like when Colin goes last. All right, so I didn't mention earlier, but I didn't watch these movies or read the books when they were in their heyday, when they first came out. I later on had a bet kind of thing going on with a friend, or a challenge where we both hadn't seen the movies or read the books, and we decided to do both at the same time. So we read a book and then would watch the corresponding movie once we finished the book, and then so on and so forth. And it timed out perfectly that I finished the last book the same week that the last movie was coming out in theaters. So I went to see it, and that was the only one that I saw in the theater. Having said all that and done all that, I think this whole series is, I mean, it's obviously it's for kids, but it's like, for me, it was kind of lackluster. It's like, but to give it credit, like, it is an interesting thing in that it starts off when the main characters are kids. So you kind of have to make it like for a kid audience, you know? No adult is going to like watch a movie about these little kids running around like getting good grades in school.
I mean, except for the three of us. Four of us.
Yeah. But so, you know, I mean, to its credit, this movie, you know, is a little dark. It does, you know, take the kids, like, look at them, what's going on here. It gets a little scary at the end, I guess, for them. As the movies go on, it gets much darker. And by the time, you know, you get to the last one, they're adults. Like, it's not really a kid's movie anymore. It's like, I wouldn't let my kids watch the last one. Maybe this one.
Because all the hardcore sex.
Yeah. Well, once the fucking starts coming.
I mean, don't ruin it for me, but I assume that it's
Magic Wand takes on a whole nother time.
Yeah.
But, you know, I agree with what Jarale is saying, that this movie is more good than bad. It obviously has some dated effects. The acting of kid acting is there she is. Look at that overacting. It's just not great.
Also, here's the moment of like, just jump off the horse.
Just get off the fucking.
Get off the fucking horse.
Get off your fucking high horse, Ron.
Yeah, like dodge, duck, bail
Look
out.
at him just sitting there. Look at how long it takes this fucking
Just
magical
paralyzed.
chess
It's literally
piece to get over there.
he's not playing a chess piece. He is sitting on a horse. Yeah.
He's paralyzed with fear, and now
I don't
he's
understand.
literally
Paralyzed with fear and stupidity.
At that point, he's being so stupid. You almost want the queen piece to not stab the horse and to stab him.
There is a version of that. Having said that, all that, this movie is too long. It's like never ending. It just feels like it's going to end, and then there's a whole nother 20-minute sequence of like something like this. And then even when this is over, we still don't know who the bad guy is. That has to happen. Then he has to defeat the bad guy. And then there's like the epilogue, like the last scene. It just goes on. And then, I didn't watch the credits, but I bet they're like 20 minutes long too. So I don't know. I mean, I have to give credit where credit's due. This is the first movie that launched a very successful franchise. It does feel... It does feel cohesive. Like the world is imaginative, and like it's doing something different, and for that I can't give it 5. That's a little too low. It's 6 is kind of, I almost want to give 6.5 too, but I just to stick with we never give half credit. I'm gonna have to say
half that dolphin.
I'm gonna say 6 Timothy Dolphins.
I also watched this movie, and I saw every part of it. I listened to the sounds that it made. I agree with a lot of what's been said here. Basically, yeah, it's a Harry Potter story, and I've noticed there's a lot of similarities. Like looking back, trying to remember the ones that I've seen before, they are kind of similar. I stand by what I said earlier about like Harry Potter seems to like have no beginning and no end. He's just kind of always in school, and you're always just kind of like, realizing like, let's check in with Harry. He's still having a magical adventure in his little school or whatever. And it just seems like that because the movies are long, and this movie is really long. But they do.
Hold up. Having said that, I just saw The Batman, which is a 3-hour movie, and I was in it for every fucking minute.
I wanted to start it over.
Yeah, I wanted more of it.
That's a really good fucking movie.
It was
It was really good.
When the penguin's car was upside down, I wanted to rewind it right there in the theater.
When he turns the Batmobile on for the first
Oh
time.
my god,
Yeah,
that was
I
good.
was like, oh shit.
I mean, the Batman was really long, but it moved. It moved.
And I love me some Zoe Kravitz, I gotta say.
Yeah,
she's good.
She did
Yeah.
something in that film.
I don't care what she's doing doing it right.
She did it correctly. Yeah, she did. She did what she was meant to do.
Finish your thing, Colin. Back to Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter. He's a little magical boy.
Great analysis. I feel like you're really spot on with this analysis.
Yeah, he's Harry Potter. He's
Get a little
magical
punchy.
boy.
Get a little punchy here late at night.
Side note: this guy doesn't look like John Lennon at all. Come on.
Well, no, you got to picture him with round glasses. You're not picturing him with round glasses.
I'm trying to picture.
he looks
John
more like
Lennon
John
with
Lennon.
turban.
If you put Harry Potter's glasses on him, totally.
I'm trying to picture John Lennon with a turban on.
Johnny Carson.
Yeah, that's the same turban Johnny
Yeah.
Carson.
Oh yeah,
Johnny
yeah. Okay.
Carson.
Karnak, yeah.
That's it. Yep.
with the flashcard to his head.
Yep.
Weird, wild stuff.
Karnak, that was the name of that character, right?
Yeah, Karnak.
A diseased yak.
These are things you can find. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So basically what I'm going to give this movie is a 5 because I know it's going to get better. 5 Timothy Dolphins.
Wow. Those score from the easy rating.
Yeah. It's going to
Shocking.
get better. It's going to get better.
Shocking.
It's just
Is
they're
that the
little kids
lowest
in this
score
one.
you've ever given? a movie?
I mean, he's given
No.
he gave some bad ones to the real dud Bond movies, but he usually is like very low or 7 and up, 7 and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shocking.
this is
Shocking. A shocking twist.
It's just they're
All
little
right.
kids in this one. This is the kiddie one.
It's a kid. This is
I
a
think
kiddie
it's
one.
actually very healthy, the low scores that it's getting from us. In
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't
We're
like
not
this
the
movie
target
that
audience.
much.
It's
We really
exactly what
should.
you said.
Yeah.
We're not the target audience.
If one of you guys give it a 9,
I was like, this is the movie for me. This is my.
I'll watch this any day.
Well,
anytime.
man, I gotta tell you, 10 is not enough dolphins.
I mean, I
Just so that the audience knows, right now the turban is coming off.
and now we are seeing
This is some of the worst CGI.
It's Snoke.
Yeah.
What is the name of the guy?
Yeah, it might as
Oh,
well
I mean
be.
Voldemort. Yeah.
Voldemort.
He's got a nose somehow.
He does look like the villain from the.
I could
new
not
Star
stop
Wars.
thinking about how much Voldemort sounds like Vladimir.
Oh yeah.
And I
It's a
wonder
little
how
Russian
intentional
analogy.
that might have been.
That's a cool shot right there.
I think Voldemort's a strong name. Like, I think if he had like not gone into evil, but had just gone into like making like a nice product, like he could, like the Voldemort winery.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
I would,
it's classy.
I'd buy wine from
It's
there.
classy, or like a pharmaceutical company, Voldemort Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, Voldemort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
It's all
designer
evil
clothes.
pharmaceuticals.
Oh yeah, Voldemort brand. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got that Voldemort.
Yeah.
Are you wearing the latest Voldemort line?
Yeah.
Voldemort bags, Voldemort
yeah.
shirts.
Are those Levi's? No, they're
Vol-
Voldemort's.
Voldemort was
This-
amazing at Fashion Week.
This is Voldemort, motherfucker. You
Yeah,
can't afford
yeah.
this shit.
Manolo Blahnik. These are Voldemort wedge heels.
Yeah. You're wearing Gucci.
Yeah. Please, that's so
You're
last year.
trash. I got
There was
Voldemort
a
on.
really good horror movie where this chick was like possessed.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Everybody.
And at the end, she had a twin in the back of her
Oh,
head.
that's the what's the one? It was on HBO.
Malignant.
Yeah,
Was it? I thought it was on Netflix. I watched it at home.
yeah,
Yeah,
It was
Malignant
the
is
one.
what
Yeah,
it's called.
Malignant. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, that was wild.
Really good movie.
wild.
So the
Very
Oscars
fucked
this
up.
year has a thing. They're giving an award to like the
Giving
best.
an award to
like,
Malignant.
No, they're giving an award to the best like popular movie, and people got to vote on Twitter, and you could pick any movie from this year that you like, and whatever movie has the most votes. And at one point, they released like the 10 that were in the lead, and *Malignant* was one of them. And I was like, I don't have Twitter, but I'm going on and I'm voting *Malignant* because how great would it be if that won
The
an
Oscars
Oscar?
are like, oh wait, people are stupid. That's canceled.
So the Oscars cut out like 8 different categories.
Yeah.
Editors can't get on TV, but
Yeah.
they invented a whole new category.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
for *Malignant*.
I
for
read
Netflix
something
movies.
today, and
for
it said-
everybody's favorite Netflix movie.
Yeah.
I read something that said there was like a movement that a lot of members of the Academy are not going to be voting in like protest of this, and if that's true,
I hope it's the white ones.
if it's true, it could make for some interesting wins because like if not everyone's voting, then like a bunch of shit that would normally win is gonna.
Well, here's my thing. I get what they're doing with not having everything televised. I mean, they've always done that. They've always had technical awards that were not televised.
I mean, like
people
the
are still-
awards that nobody, like you don't
Yeah.
even know what these people do.
Right. But those people are still getting Oscars. Editors are still getting Oscars. They're just not having the televised thing. I get that if they're going to make a better TV product. The thing is, like, because that's about, like, hey, it's not about the awards. It's about we want a better show. And the Oscars as a show should really just be, like, clips and sketches and a couple of awards and famous people being charming, you know?
What about text in live voting?
But that's what I'm saying.
What are they gonna do with that extra time? Like,
Well,
I don't want longer speeches.
Yeah, but
I don't want more. You know what I mean?
One thing they could do with
montage
that extra
reels.
time is just not have the extra time and not have a 3+ hour show.
Is that what they're doing?
It would be not. Here's my thing. I agree with the sentiment that the public in general doesn't care about the editing award. I do, but most people don't. And if they want to make a better show, I get that they should just cut it down to like best actor, best actress, best picture, best director, whatever, and do it like that and fill everything else with something fun and entertaining. I have no faith that they will know what to do the fun and entertaining stuff with. So I like that the idea that they're trying to make it a more entertaining, fun show and maybe a little shorter, but I just don't. I think they're going to fall on their face and it's going to be just as boring as ever. And then also we're not going to get to see a great filmmaker.
What I always like about the
give a
Oscars,
speech.
even as a kid, like watching it with like family members who don't give a shit about the movie industry or whatever. Like what I thought was cool about it is that it could be a learning experience for people. You know, like okay, you're watching the award for like best production design. Like I would say the majority of people don't know what production design is, right?
Yeah.
But then when they show you like clips or they talk, sometimes they do cool things where they'll show you
It's like, oh, I get it now.
Right.
The writing awards where sometimes they'll show the pages of the
script,
script
Yes.
getting read out. I think that's amazing.
I love when they do
yeah.
that stuff.
I think the clips is the most important part of the Oscars.
Yes.
And like that's why the last Oscars was so fucking bad.
There were no
and,
clips.
yeah,
right?
and, oh my
was
God,
no clips.
remote Oscars where nobody can be in the same room room and they were trying to do all these segregated things, you would think that the one thing they would be like, more clips.
Yeah.
More fucking clips.
In defense of the Oscars, I think I read it somewhere that it was actually ABC that said that they
they're
threatened
forcing,
that they weren't going to air the Oscars if they didn't cut these, which is like, come on, ABC, you're not going to air the fucking Oscars.
Yeah,
it's like saying we're not
their ratings
we're not
go
going to
down
do the
every
Super
year.
Bowl if you don't do if the halftime show is too long.
Well, somebody will air them.
It doesn't make sense. Exactly.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
I read
Exactly.
something they were saying that they should just make it like a streaming thing and like have
shit.
Amazon
Yeah,
pick it up or
absolutely.
Netflix or something. Like everybody would watch
I would
it.
actually do it if I could
The
just...
Grammys. Okay, so the Grammys, on the same night of the Grammys, Kanye West, Drake, Nicki Minaj, they're hosting an event, a show that they're going to run at the exact same time as the Grammys.
Nice.
Just like as a fuck you type of
Oh,
thing.
really?
Nice.
Yes. I would love it if some actors got together and did something like
Just
that
the fuck you Oscars.
for the Oscars, because the Oscars is so like...
This leads into what I was wanting to talk about. One of my favorite things that happens at the Oscars, when the speech does go too long and the person giving the speech really goes off the rails.
And they're playing them off so they won't leave.
Yeah. And what they're talking about is like not relevant to anything.
I mean, really. So, what are the best things that ever happened in the Oscars? We all love the clips,
yeah.
right? The in memoriam montage,
Yeah.
especially because somebody always
sure.
gets left out.
Yeah,
and it's
like,
always awesome.
why does that happen?
I don't know, but I would say there's always at least one good musical performance. Although you don't hardly know any of the songs, but there's
I think most of those musical performances are what the fuck they can cut, because I'm like, I don't need to hear the fucking score from a James Bond movie being performed live in a
every once
different
in a while,
language.
there's a good song that's performed by a good artist. But the problem is if they want to play the good one by the famous artist,
Then they have to play the
then they
four
have to play
crappy ones.
All the four crappy ones, yeah. And it's the same thing with the speeches. Is like there's always one or two great speeches that the next day are on YouTube that like, oh my god, this person killed it. Sometimes it's just a rando. Sometimes it's like somebody great. But like to get to that, you have to watch all these other speeches of people who are just like thanking their agents and their moms and the blah blah blah,
Yeah,
blah,
those
blah, and
suck.
just listing people.
Shout out to
It's
3-6 Mafia.
Yeah,
It's hard out here for a pimp, y'all know.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's always the best like short film is like that person gives like the best speech.
Yeah,
I'm
because
who
they're like
is this
tearing up
person?
and they're just talking
Yeah.
about how
There's some
inspired they are.
categories you could get the fuck rid of. The
the short film?
The
Yes.
short documentary.
Yeah, short
Nobody watched this movie.
animated.
Nobody
short,
cares about this movie.
animated
That is
short,
true,
live
and that's
action
a bigger
short.
problem. If they're gonna have those in, they should have an outlet where you can watch these movies easily.
No fucking shit. That's one thing. There should be one channel. Amazon should just be like, hey, we're doing all the Oscar shorts. It's going to be a program thing. So all the live action, all the animated, all the documentary.
Yeah.
That's going to be our thing. And you can.
I don't understand why Oscar Shorts is a part of the Oscars program that's televised.
It doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Right. They
Hey,
could
but
lose
you're
that.
cutting the editors though.
The short
People who
animation,
edit feature-long
right,
films.
yeah.
Yeah, people who are like literally what if you're going to rank them, maybe the second or third most important behind the scenes people.
Easily.
Yeah, if
Easily.
you're gonna say like there's 3 parts to the movie making process: pre-production, production, and post-production,
That's
and then they're a
one
third
very
of it,
important,
you know, like-
very important part. And like even when they decided to, like nobody, I think because the Academy doesn't necessarily, even members of the Academy don't know the difference between mixing and editing and sound. They combined the sound into one category because they were like giving sound. But you think of how many years they were giving a sound mixing Oscar and a sound editing Oscar, and we all know what the difference is. But like, who the fuck else? The general public does not know or care.
I'd still rather
they're
see
just
that
seeing
than
two
a-
sound Oscars that are being televised. So I get that. I just think that
I'd still rather see that than best short, best animated short
that you've
'cause-
never
Yes.
seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
So in short,
The only best animated short that was worth airing was when Kobe Bryant won.
yeah.
spoken like a true Lakers fan.
I don't wanna hear
that was
anything
not
that
even
you
the,
have to
that was
say.
not even the best short that year. But whatever. That's
1,000%
celebrity.
was.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Kobe. We love you, Kobe. Kobe, no! Every time I think about it, that's what I think of my mind.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I think with that,
There was this one time where Kobe jumped over a car.
I remember that commercial.
So I went to UC Irvine. Short story. I went to UC Irvine. Kobe Bryant used to train at the gym at UC Irvine. If you got up early enough, if you were as hard of a worker as Kobe, or just thirsty enough to know that Kobe was there and you could meet him there, and you was there at 6 a.m., you might run into Kobe Bryant.
Could you challenge him?
But he would take a picture with you.
Yeah.
For sure. He took pictures with everybody. He was super
nice.
cool. Kobe, no!
Well,
We
guys,
miss
we
you,
did
Kobe.
it. How much of this movie is left? This is like the last scene,
Oh my
right?
god!
Oh
no,
yeah, the
it's-
movie is.
I can't believe
definitely
we're running down this movie right now. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's wrap this up.
I think this is our longest episode ever.
Probably.
I think it is.
Jarale, you got anything to hype?
What are you working on? Yeah, anything you want to like promote?
Social media shit? Don't tell the people your social media shit. You
Oh,
want people on
yes.
your
Hey,
Instagram?
guys, everybody. I want you to go...
Tell them your home address. No.
if I'm going to plug anything, I want you guys to check out Meet Duncan. Meet Duncan is my web comic series that I write and produce. It's hosted exclusively on the Meet Duncan app. You can get that on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store.
Spell this for me.
MEETDUNCAN with a space in between.
All right.
Meet Duncan.
All right, good.
What about your podcast?
Check out my podcast. I have a podcast also. It's called So Once Upon a Time, where I freestyle short stories for anybody who's willing to stick with me as I do it. So, yes.
Just off the dome, like in anything?
Off the dome, off top, yes.
They get a little. They take a lot of left turns sometimes.
A lot of left turns. A lot
Much
of,
like West Side Story.
I can promise you that you will not be bored listening to the stories on my podcast.
Nice. All right. Cool. We'll have to check that out. Or do you have guests? Maybe we could be guests on it. Do some
We're going to be guests on
cross-pollination.
his, telling his child a story.
You should have guests.
He could be telling it to us.
You should have
Yeah,
guests.
instead of telling your kid a story, you should tell the story to us.
So I'll tell you guys, these are not children's stories, first of all.
You should have guests and you should know as little about them as possible and then just make up their backstory.
That's kind of cool.
Now we got a lot of spin-off podcast thoughts here.
I'm just literally trying to kill time until I see a credit.
I can't believe you're actually trying to run out this movie. This is...
We've come this close. I mean...
Oh, my God.
Thanks, guys, for hosting. Thanks, guys, for having me. I honestly felt a little bit cheated because I was tempted to not finish watching this movie, and then I got here and found out that Matt did.
Yeah.
You didn't tell us that.
Yeah, believe me, none of us wanted to finish this movie. Only one of us didn't.
I was like, oh my God, this movie. I told you I watched this movie from yesterday until today. And I tried to do it in 20-minute spurts. And then
I watched it in one sitting, so it only felt like 2 days.
I had to do the last hour and a half all at once, and I was like, "Damn, this movie is."
Just the fact that you have to say about a movie, I had to watch the last hour and a half all at once.
the last hour and a half. Not that the movie was an hour and a half.
I had 20 minutes left, and I had to leave the house, and I was like, okay, fuck, I'll just bring my iPad, and I'll have it playing. I won't really be watching the screen, but I'll be listening.
You were watching this movie in your car.
No, I drove about 1 minute, and then it stopped, and I'm like, what's wrong with this thing? And then I realized, oh, no internet. Of course, this is HBO Max.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Okay, well.
All right, Harry's waving
You're
goodbye.
a wizard, Harry.
You're a cunt, Harry.
All right, let's go out by singing the theme to this movie. Colin, take it away.
We're going out on your
Is that even it? What?
You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry.
Thank you again for listening, and please remember to rate, review, and subscribe if you like listening to us talk about your favorite film franchises. Thank you to our guest, Jarale Phillips, and as always, thank you to Chris Morocco for banging out the You're a Wizard, Harry remix for this series. We have a Patreon that you can check out and subscribe to for just $1 a month over at www.patreon.com/L2W. That's www.patreon.com/L2W. Help support the podcast by joining. You get instant access to over 50 bonus shows that feature us covering non-franchise classics such as Mortal Kombat, David Lynch's Dune, all 4 Star Trek Next Generation films, and so much more every single month. Again, that website to join is www.patreon.com/L2W. This show is a part of the Fandom Limb Podcast Network, so please be sure to check out some of their other awesome shows. And be sure to tune in next time for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Wizard, wizard, wizard. 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 Wizard.